Greetings to you, travelers. Welcome to another episode of High Rollers D&D, the D&D show here on twitch.tv/Yogscast and twitch.tv/High Rollers D&D. I'm your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes. Joining me this week,
we have
Kim.
Hi!
Trot! And hiding behind her new Avernus little pictures, Rhiannon.
Hey, pictures?
a little closet.
It's in the dice set.
Okay, I haven't opened my dice set.
On the other side,
The best.
Tom Hazel and Katie Morrison. Everyone is here joining us for a very exciting episode of High Rollers. Before we jump into the announcements, one quick thing before we do anything else. I want to say thank you to Dan from Wizard of the Coast who sent lots of copies of Descent into Avernus and dice sets.
They smell great.
They are very cool.
Thank you very much for
They also
those.
function as a dice tray.
Yeah, the dice set is probably the best. It's really nice. It's like a little dice set. You get a little map of Avernus.
Two evil
Two
looking.
dice trays,
Yeah.
really.
I should have used it.
Yeah,
And also,
you should.
book.
Also, he sent the girls some very nice Wild Bangarang D&D leggings, which was very nice of him. So thank you very much for that.
So thank you very much.
You're the best.
But Chris Trott, why don't you tell us about today's sponsor,
Yeah.
D&D Beyond?
Are you suffering from choice paralysis?
Yes.
Do you have long stints of brain fog?
Frog?
When performing simple math? Are you forgetful? Leaving behind important note-taking stationery? Suffer no longer with D&D Beyond!
Wow.
A simple, non-invasive solution, not to be taken orally or rubbed into the skin. Simply soak the solution directly into your eyes for any length of time, for however long you want, until your symptoms fade away. Choice paralysis is a thing of the past, with a quick visual character creator and vast, easily searchable library of content. Brain fog is dispersed by cleverly designed UI hiding extremely complicated math. When you level up, it's all done for you. It's simple. The following single-sentence testimonials are from avid long-term users of D&D Beyond. Kim says,
Is great!
Rhiannon says,
It's fast.
Katie says,
I couldn't play without it.
Tom, unfortunately, wasn't available because he's been locked up. That's a shame. Forget no more as you access your notes and real-time information for any smart device. There is a disclaimer, and there's one man that can read things really fast.
Okay.
I
I was actually going to do one, okay. Disclaimer, this product will not mimic your characters to destroy your DM's campaigns. Can cause excitability, excessive efficiency, ultra-productivity, no known cause of diarrhea. Small studies have shown potential emotional responses of guilt when utilized next to someone without D&D Beyond, often triggering involuntary jamming insults as to why they'd never use pen and paper when a far superior option is available. Can cause death on the many monsters you build in the encounter builder. Batteries not included or even needed.
Sorry.
Nice.
Very good. Very well done.
Make all.
That was
Nice
good.
disclaimer.
Can cause death of any monsters you build in the encounter builder.
Okay.
You have to read it really fast for American TV,
There's
because
like-
they've got to
I know,
legally announce
yeah.
it, but obviously they don't want you to hear it.
Well,
It was an American style.
Yeah.
If they don't finish
And-
in 10 seconds, you're legally allowed to leave.
Chris Trott, I did ask you to be funny this week. Well
That
done.
was
One day I will be.
One day you will be.
Golf
Thank you
class.
very
Working
much,
on it.
Golf
Chris
class.
Trott. Thank you, D&D Beyond. As always, long-term sponsor. Genuinely, really appreciate all the support they've given us.
Yeah.
So Adam,
And I haven't had diarrhea once.
Adam,
So
Todd, and all of the rest of the team. Thank you guys very much. Also, lots of really cool articles. They have one about pocket mimics. They made mimics to be even smaller and more deadly.
pocket mimics.
Lovely.
Is it a tiny chest still? Or is it just a
It can
pocket?
be, well, a mimic can be anything.
Oh, so like teeth in a
Like a
pocket.
coin. Imagine like a coin mimic.
I thought you meant like your
really good.
pocket is actually
your
a
finger.
mimic.
Could be.
Oh my
Like a
god.
cookie cutter shark.
Clothing.
Yeah.
Mimic.
Yeah, you can have that.
Swallows you up.
Damn.
Couple of quick other things.
Couple
Couple of quick other things. Don't forget, we have a big sale on store.yorkscast.com right now for high roller
sale.
stuff specifically.
Yes.
You can get the hats are on sale. T-shirts, pin badges,
underside.
posters, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
It's all on sale, heavily discounted. We're trying to clear out all of our old stock
Everything must go.
because
Go
we've got
quick, please.
some cool, exciting new merch plans.
Yes.
Looking at doing a whole new cool load of stuff ready for winter as well. So check that out. Store.yorkscast.com, and don't forget you can use code HIGHROLLERS to get 10% off, and that's on anything you buy in the Yogscast store. And it's free shipping once you spend over £150.
It's 100.
100
Molecule mimics.
Check that out. because I know Kim always likes it when I mention this, subscriptions.
Oh, do it.
Twitch.tv/High Rollers D&D. If you want to get High Rollers exclusive emotes, you can go sub up on High Rollers D&D Twitch. We also have chat over there if you want to go and chat with dedicated hardcore High Rollers fans. You can go and check that out, sub up. September has sadly ended, but you can still sub up, eat fresh. Why not?
Yeah, and we've got this
Eat
free
stale.
Poggers emote that has just been in my inbox for months
Ready.
now.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Repoggers emote.
And then the last thing I'm going to make, is there anything else? I've got one last thing. You do your thing.
Okay, thank you, Matt C, for the music for Yamalotai. That was part of the fan music spotlight before we began, and will come up again, I think, during the break or something. I don't know.
And if you've got any music, cosplay, or art, where can you send it?
You can send that to highrollersdnd@gmail.com, and that means that you are letting us use it in the show for the spotlight or for the fan art.
Otherwise, I'll take it
Or he'll take it.
You just take
and
it.
put it in anyway.
Right, and then that it. Last thing I was going to say is next week we're going to be having a guest join us, which is always nice. Booth is visiting Yogg's Towers, so
yeah.
Booth, a streamer on Twitch.tv, is going to be joining us. We are yet to figure out her character and stuff, so she might not have artwork, but she's going to be joining us next week.
Yes.
So that'll be really fun.
So, one more thing. We're playing more D&D right after this episode.
Yeah.
TV/D&D. We are playing our last episode of the Descent miniseries, so come and join us straight after this.
Final
Stay here
episode.
for now.
Final.
Stay here for now.
Stay here.
Twitch.tv/D&D
Final
on the
episode,
after
my
this.
One more thing.
My favorite.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh god.
Dun dun.
Dun dun.
Sid, run the video.
Dun dun.
Dun dun.
Thank you, Rhiannon.
She looked slightly
That-
ashamed of it when she did it, though.
Lovely piece of paper for me that I. Thank you very
That
much.
could have gone worse.
Yeah.
This did a diagonal.
My word.
Last
Sorry. Start again.
Last time on High Rollers, the party travelled to the settlement of Yamalotai, an orc settlement out in the Sea of Broken Stars. There, they rescued the settlement from an attack by Sahagin and various sharks. After dispensing with the Sahagin and some interesting choices in battle, mainly from Sentry, who floated down to the sea, the party dispensed these Sahagin and met with two figures who had been protecting the town. Wavelord Jawani, who is the orc leader of the settlement of Yamalotai, as well as Baroness Erin Coralsong, a Triton noble of the underwater realm of King Tidesilver, the Triton ruler of the seas of Aerois. Whilst there, they met with several other citizens of Yamalotai as well, especially Lentz, who is a Triton salvager of Court of Shadows goods, as well as Starborn Alliance and Solvin relics. And he had a number of wares to display, but sadly, none were purchased, including a Solvin shield.
Not yet.
Not yet. However, after speaking with Wavelord Jawani and Baroness Erin Coralsong, the party have been informed that over the last 3 weeks, the Sahagin have become extremely aggressive all across the seas of Aerois, and specifically, the people of Yamalotai have been besieged by a force that has been seen with remnants and pieces of Court of Shadows armor and weaponry, and that they have become far more aggressive. Baroness Erin Coralsong was specifically sent here to investigate a settlement called the Twilight Corals nearby that had gone silent and that nobody had heard from in some time, and she has requested the party's aid in investigating the settlement and then putting a stop to the Sahagin attacks by eliminating their high priestess. That is where we begin today.
Very cool.
You have had water breathing cast upon you by Wave Lord Jawani, which lasts for 24 hours. You left Yamalotai about an hour and a half to 2 hours ago, having travelled about 50 miles via the airship to the region of the sea where the Twilight Corals is located. Baroness Erin Coralsong has informed you that the settlement itself is deep below the waves, and you will need to swim down to investigate it. I believe that the last thing that had happened is Nova Vija had attempted to speak with the Eterna known as Helios that is accompanying you on the airship to seek his aid or his protection on your mission. But he had informed Nova that he wanted to hear from the rest of the party if they wanted him to come and their reasons for wanting him to come along as well. Before he made his decision. So you have a choice. You can either just crack on, or if any of you want to go and speak with Helios, now would be the time to do it.
Could I quickly do a clarification as well?
Of course you
I've
can.
had a lot of questions about this.
Sure.
When I got back from the one shot, I used the coin
Yes.
to replace...
From Lady Duskwillow.
Yes, to replace one level of Bard with one level of Wizard.
You did
A lot
do
of
that.
people have been asking why I've been introducing myself as a Cleric Wizard. That's why. So I just basically hard swapped Bard for Wizard.
And we did that because you weren't really enjoying Bard. It didn't really make sense for your character
It gave me a
anymore.
lot of spells I could get as a Cleric, so it was it felt very redundant, whereas Wizard feels very cool and gives me access to new, interesting
Well, and
things.
you have a reason to level Wizard up as well. There are things that you want from high level Wizard as well.
Yeah.
So that is just a pure
Min-max.
DM making it for fun. It's for fun. It's so Tom can enjoy the character.
And that was in the one shot that they did in packs.
Yes.
So if you
Which
wanna
is
catch
available
up with
on
that,
YouTube.
It's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So there you
So
go.
there you go. That's a little clarification for you.
There you go.
That's what Quill is now.
Cool. So yeah. So the airship hovers perhaps, a few meters above the water. You can hear waves kind of like, as the tide surges, the occasional wave kind of just kisses the bottom of the airship. But otherwise it hums, hovering in place. And the crew just go about their business. Araya and the rest of the crew are just working. Do we want to show off the ship, by the way?
I think we do.
Sure.
We can
Yeah.
attach the mast. Attach
yes.
the mast first.
So we now have a massive, I want to say miniature,
That's all we have. That's it.
of
Sid might be able
mast.
to switch to the other camera
the
as well.
airship.
Oh, okay, thanks. Sid's trying to get on.
Really good shot
There it
there,
is.
Tom.
That's
Lovely.
great. That's
So
brilliant.
you got like the front
Should put it
bit.
Oh, there you go. I
in
should
front
probably
of
hold it
you.
there.
Just
So
hold
for
it.
podcast listeners, we bought, what ship is this?
This is the
Troll.
Fallen Star, I think it's called, by
Fallen
WizKids.
Star.
I really like the
So we-
griffin.
Anchor.
Yeah, so
So
we have
dragon
an
claw.
Dragon
actual
claw.
airship, or well, a ship that we hope to customize to look more like the airship.
Yep.
That we can use for battle maps and things like that. Isn't that cool? Look how big it is, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Massive.
It's not
And,
quite the
cool.
the design of it, but it's a shape.
Yeah, the
gonna
deck is
customize.
about the same, but the actual sails and the design and stuff isn't quite right.
It's a beast.
We're gonna.
It's still freaking cool, huh?
But do you know the best thing, Tom, is you can take all of your player characters off that, and then we can put the ship to the side because we're not going to be using it.
We're not
today.
actually using it today. So there we
So
go.
hopping
It
off
can
the
stay
airship.
there.
I mean, it can do, but it will block the rest of the map when we come to the
Oh, you can
And everything
open
opens up.
up
It's
the-
very, very cool.
And take off the stairs.
You can open up the
Don't-
portholes.
Okay, it's not a product review.
So there you go. That's
Stairs are gone.
that's the ship that we've got.
Right.
That
Mine now.
should make ship combat a lot cooler to look at and a lot cooler to play as well.
It's really cheap.
It's
It's
very
not.
cheap.
Right, put it all. But come on, take your characters off and put it all back.
There we go.
And tell me what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
I think Sentry will probably speak to Helios.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So Sentry goes and finds Helios. He's probably on the very prow of the ship, just looking out over the water. His big leonine form, just kind of glowing softly in the afternoon sun.
I'll do the same,
splendid.
but
Okay.
before that, I would have got on my pajamas instead.
Oh
You
my-
put your pajamas on
But we're about to go.
underwater.
Yeah.
I didn't bring a swimsuit, so this
you
is
put your
Lucius's next best
Okay,
thing.
so-
Are
and
they
your,
silk?
your pajamas, yeah, they're like silk and pink with like stars on them or something. I
Yes.
remember.
They're
Yeah.
very classic.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing the hat though.
Okay, so no hat but
Ruined.
pajamas, like little silk pajamas. Okay, so whilst Lucius is getting changed, I'm assuming Sentry makes her way over to speak with Helios. Yeah, you find him at the prow of the ship.
Cool.
And he probably is just looking out on the waves.
Okay. I'll just give him a little tap on the shoulder.
Yeah, you can feel that, like, being an Eterna, he's like an embodiment of energy. There is a physical form there, but it's not like a solid creature.
Okay.
It's, you tap him and you don't quite like put your hand through him like a ghost, but you can feel that it's just energy. Like it's not like a hard substance.
Okay.
And he turns to you. Ah, you are the Guardian Sentry, yes?
That is correct, yeah.
I believe. I'm assuming you have come to speak with me after your friend, the Ganassi, informed you of my desire to speak with people.
Yeah. We'd really need you down there, Helios.
You seem capable sorts.
Not underwater. I'm not good underwater. It slows me down terribly.
Why do you think that I would be any different?
Do you act differently underwater? Does water have any effect on you?
It is important to remember that as an Eterna, I am not a living creature in the same sense. I can make myself appear in this form to make it easier to speak with you people here on Aerois, but this is not what I am meant to be. I am a being of living energy. I can change my form, but not in a way to become anything that you would recognize as a creature. My duty as a guardian, as a protector Eterna, was to basically act as a shield, as a barrier between my people and harm. I did this, and he kind of gestures up. In the world beyond this, in the dark space, it is like I simply will myself to be a barrier. Here it's not the same. I do not fight. This is what I tried to explain to your Ganassi friend. I am not a fighter. I am a protector.
Well, let me then.
You are a protector?
Well, I try to be as best as I can.
How so?
Well, I'm very much try to protect my friends when they're in combat.
Why do you do this?
Because they're my friends, and I wouldn't like to lose another set of friends again. Like
You speak of lose another. This implies that you have lost people before, yes?
I have, yes. When Starbane attacked Solvin many, many years ago, Solvin sunk beneath the waves, and I lost everybody. Everyone that I loved, everybody I cared for, everyone that gave me anything good in this world, they've gone. But I found new hope with my new friends, and all these new adventures we've been on, I'd very much like to keep them around as long as I can, which is why I protect them.
Your people, the Guardians, you were created here on Aerois, weren't you?
We were, yes.
And yet you still believe in defending this place? Even though you were used as soldiers, as weapons?
Well, as best as I can. It's the only thing I know how to do. It's what I was made to do. If I have nothing else to do, then what else am I good for?
I feel that you and I are more similar than the others, if nothing else. I too was created to protect and to fulfill a purpose. And I too have lost people in the war against Callus and his forces. Mm-hmm. This is something that your Ganassi friend does not seem to understand. I do not know her well, but she carries around Tiangong, and she is curious in Tiangong in the same way that Alessandra was. They see us as subjects, as things to study, as tools, perhaps.
I believe there's a bond there, though. They trust each other, and they act like together as if they're one being. It's impressive. It's amazing to see.
Lucius, you probably arrive at about this point.
Hello, Sentry, have you convinced Helios to come along?
Oh, we're having a little chat.
Oh, wonderful.
You are Lucius, if I remember the name
Yes,
correctly.
Captain Lucius Virian Elwin Elanasto, at your service.
You are one of the original elves of Aerois, yes? You are the...
No, I'm not that old. Do I look it?
I mean as in that your kind, your people are
The
descended.
prime race, yes. Though it's kind of aloof to
Learned
say
some
so.
of these things. Why should I help you and your crew, Captain Lucius? So far, from what you have told me, you are perhaps involved in a great many things that could cause great danger to Aerois.
Yes, but I think the bigger threat's out there, and we're trying to be the protectors to stop that, you know?
Yeah.
You say this, but do you truly understand this threat? Your guardian friend here, I believe, does. She fought against Callus, and she has seen the kind of armies he can bring, but do you truly understand what that means? To say that
Absolutely not. I don't have a clue, and I'm terrified, so I'm glad I have you and Sentry around to guide us.
I appreciate your honesty, if nothing else.
Yes, if it weren't for these pajamas made of silk, there would be stains.
And do you understand that I am a protector, Eterna, that I do not attack, I cannot kill your enemies, I will not harm other living beings for you. You understand this?
Well, yes. In fact, Sentry is a protector as well, and we probably need more protection. We're the ones that do all the attacking anyway, so someone to defend us would be very useful. But, I just thought it'd be interesting because it's underwater.
I would like Sentry to make a persuasion check, but with Lucius, you may also make a persuasion check, because I feel that you are lending credence to some of the things that Sentry has said. And I know that you are very persuasive. Not
Matt
in this case.
8.
17.
8 or 17?
Jammies.
Yeah.
Okay. Helios turns to Sentry. I will make this agreement with you, Sentry Guardian. I will assist you in your desire to protect others.
Okay.
This is no means a agreement between us. This is temporary.
Yeah.
If I fear that you do not have the interests of your people at heart, if I feel that you step away from the beliefs that I think that you and I share, I will no longer aid you. Do you understand?
That's very fair. Thank you.
Then very well. Then I will travel with you as to assist you in your duty of protection. And he reaches out and places a hand on your shield, and his form dissipates into a small orb. It impacts with the shield, which begins to softly glow golden, and then around your collar and neck, this kind of mane of like fur and a long golden cape begins kind of spilling out and just remains locked in place. This kind of softly glowing mantle and cloak that billows out, kind of overlapping your existing cape. You can go on D&D Beyond, and under items, you can find Helios's Blessing, I think it's called.
Oh, dang.
That's
In
badass.
equipment.
I don't think we're going to start this episode
Yes.
with that.
What?
Cool.
I think that's what I called it anyway. Let me check.
That's very cool. Well, come here.
Helios is a
Come here.
grump.
Man.
He is a grump, yeah. He's absolutely a grump.
Why
He's a
not
cat.
work?
He's a cat.
Hey, no, we don't
Like
need
knocks
Try
things
manage
over.
equipment next to
I
it.
was about to defend that, but no, yeah.
Yeah. Helios's Blessing, yeah, it's called. It's an item.
You know what we don't need to do?
It shouldn't require attunement.
Go back to Lens and buy that shield now. He's got a loser shield. He's got a loser nerd shield.
Technically, did Sentry passively skin and wear Helios?
I think that means you don't quite understand what an Eterna is.
Nice.
So your AC should have increased by 1. So the main thing is it's +1 to your AC and saving throws.
Yeah.
So that's just generic benefit. You have +1 AC and saving
What's
throws.
racing now?
However, in addition, Sentry, and this is why you were the right person to speak to Helios. Any ability that allows you to protect other creatures from harm, such as the protection fighting style or a paladin's aura, has its range increased by 5 feet as long as Helios's Blessing is with you. So your auras and your protection fighting style
Nice.
increase by 5
Nice.
feet.
So you guys
up
have
to
+2
now
on
10
saves,
feet, right?
around 10 feet, yeah.
Holy
Very cool.
crap.
Yeah. And then your
called that
protection
answer.
fighting style is normally creatures within 5 feet of you. It's now creatures within 10 feet of you.
Nice.
So, something to keep in mind.
Nice.
Sentry! Sentry!
You killed Helios and wore it.
I skinned a cat and wore
Yeah,
it.
there's a slight strange visual element of that as
Yeah.
well. Of like, it does look like she has like Helios's great lion mane is now like around Sentry's shoulders.
Lucius is taken back.
It's like a very Hercules kind of like wearing the pelt kind of vibe.
I'm not sure what just happened, but you seem to be wearing Helios now.
You hear this? You do hear a disembodied voice of like, "I have provided my blessing to Sentry Guardian, and I am still here. I can still hear you. You should be aware."
Are you talking from the fur or the...
The essence, the magical energy. Remember, that is what I truly am.
essence?
Indeed.
I've never worn another person before.
I have. It's weird.
It's weird.
I've worn an Eterna before.
Do you say that out loud?
No. I don't.
Too soon. Hashtag too soon. Time not here.
While this is going on, Quill, Ayla, and Nova, Baroness Erin probably approaches you and is like, "Right, are you all ready?"
I think so. Do you know how...
Are you going to be all right down there?
No. Do you know how far down we're actually going to have to go?
If we're where I think we are, I mean, we're probably going to be traveling for a good while, about an hour. But with Joanni's spell, it shouldn't be any different to a hike in some ways.
Okay. And are we going to need lights? Are we going to need...
Well, the Twilight Corals are... they're not too far down where it gets dark, but light will help. It will be quite dim down there for you if you can't, see in the dark.
Are we all met up again? Or is it...
At the moment,
me and
she's
Sentry?
just talking to these three, but you and Sentry and Helios can join in a second.
Fine, yeah.
She's just like, it could be a little dim down there. Most of these waters are pretty calm, so you won't need to worry about any strong currents or swimming around. Most of you lot, though, you might find that you're a little slower to move down there, and certainly there's certain fighting styles that you landers, well, you're not used to fighting down there, so you might need to just adjust how you fight. Not sure how. Well, I think most of you, apart from you and your guardian friend, appear to be more spellcasting types, which should be fine.
I'm not used to fighting wherever I am.
Oh, you'll be all right then. Just remember you'll probably be a bit slower moving around.
Great.
Are you slower underwater, even if you're...
Yeah, because
She's
I
a
can
air
only hold my
ganassi.
breath. I'm
Yeah.
not like I'm an air, not a water.
Not a depth.
If she was water ganassi, she'd be fine.
Yeah, if I were water ganassi, I'd be like woohoo, zoring around like Prince Sedone.
Who else can move underwater quick Sentry? Is it just me?
Just you. You're the only one. You and Aaron have a swim speed.
Yes!
But she looks over and is like, yeah, if you've got any more preparations, I recommend you do them now. We'll head down to the corals, find out what's happened down there, and then from there, we'll move on as we need to.
Now,
And then, you guys arrive at this point.
I did swimming class back on Gusthaven. It's very important to do your stretches first, and also to stay very hydrated, because you can't drink the water around you. It's very salty.
Okay,
And probably
okay.
full of poo.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll get crampies in your leggies.
Sure. Do you have any idea what we might see?
Sentry has a golden fur cloak around her, and her shield is glowing, by the way.
Did you?
Helios is coming!
Just because you were going to continue that conversation, I think Quill would go like,
I mean, yeah, my perception, I can probably see that. Helios.
you can.
Thank you so much, Helios. Thank you.
I have agreed to help your guardian friend as their desires match my own.
That's fair. I'm just happy to have you along.
He doesn't. He just goes. He is a grump. He's still not sure about you.
Fun!
Not sure about any of
Yeah,
us,
as
really.
per our agreement, I'll do
Sentry.
my-
He likes Sentry.
Yeah.
Everyone likes Sentry.
If I had a shield, he'd like
Breeze
me.
doesn't.
No.
Who doesn't?
Breeze doesn't.
Yeah. He's a dick, though.
Speaking of shield, do you have the barrier ring?
I look at my
I hate
hands,
you all.
obviously. Yes.
Good. Okay, good. Just remember to use that. Please.
Just please, for the love of God, use
Do you
it.
want it?
Whilst you are doing some admin, I'm going to remind you of some things with regards to water-based
I don't
combat,
need
by
it.
the way.
Water-based combat.
Yeah,
Ugh.
anyone with a swim speed, you're fine. If you've got swim speed, which is pretty much Ayla, you can just act as normal, right?
Where does it
If
say
you
that?
don't, it will be under your movement if you have a
Don't
swim
use
speed.
lightning.
If you don't have a swim speed, basically you move at half speed. Every foot of swimming costs you 2 feet of your movement speed. So just imagine that you're at half
Did
speed,
you
right?
15 feet.
He just challenged me, going, "Where is it?
Well,
Where
no, I
is
was
it?"
just wondering where it was. I got flight speed.
right.
You gain resistance to lightning damage, and you can breathe underwater. You also gain a swimming speed of 30 feet.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you don't have a swim speed, your melee attacks are at disadvantage unless you use certain weapons, which is basically any kind of thrusting weapon. So a dagger, short sword, spear, trident, javelin. You can use all of those in melee fine.
Okay.
The ship has enough crew where, like, Sentry, if you want to say, like, can anyone lend me a spear? Like, Kamala, somebody, like, one of the Beast crew probably is like, yeah, I've got a spear, and they can give you a spear, basically.
I guess it's
or
like
a short
really,
sword.
real dud weapon, though. Like a.
It's not a magical weapon, it's just a normal weapon. Or a short sword would probably be the most common as well. They can give you a gladius-style thrusting sword.
Cool. What if I use Tiangong as a throwing disc?
So any ranged weapon will automatically miss at its long range. So if you throw it over its short range, it just
Slows to
misses.
nothing.
It's just like... Yeah, exactly. So generally anything past 30 feet it's not going to hit.
Yeah.
What about a hammer?
Huh?
A hammer.
Hammer would be a bludgeoning weapon. It would be slow
All
to
the
swing.
same thing.
Yeah.
Does that affect mine if I have?
You have a swim speed.
So it doesn't affect me.
For some reason, doesn't affect you. Even though just because you're like really good at swing. I guess it's kind of like Aquaman, where you can kind of you're magically manipulating the water around you, so you can like spin and stuff. It's stupid.
No spells are affected, right?
So magic is unaffected
Apart from
unless
fire.
you can't breathe. But as long as you have water breathing on, you're fine. You can cast and speak and everything else. But any creatures fully submerged in water have fire resistance, so fire spells will be less effective underwater.
What about lightning?
So lightning,
Physics-wise, that
there is no
affects surface.
there's no rules for lightning underwater. Like it isn't any worse. So I'm not going to make it like you can just use lightning as normal.
Okay, so if I use a shocking grasp, it's not going to kill me.
No.
It's
cool.
on the surface.
Maybe that like physics in real world physics that probably doesn't make sense. But in D&D, there's no rules for it, so I'm not going to try and make my own. I'm just going to follow this.
Win for Ayla.
Win, win,
That
win,
sounds
win,
like-
win.
A win-win, and then a couple more wins.
Yeah.
Um,
Erin is just like, if you got any questions about the Sahogin or Tritons, ask me.
well, actually, I mean, they managed to dispatch a giant shark and
Yep.
multiple priestesses and other
Yes.
things. Are we expecting worse down there?
I suspect that it depends. If they fortify the Twilight Corals, then yes, probably. But I imagine that they've mainly come from the ravine, the cold light depths nearby. That's probably where we'll meet more Sahorgan resistance. But I want to investigate the settlement first. My people are there, and I suspect that there's probably not much left, but I need to know what happened.
Okay.
Any other creatures that you think they might have?
Well, Sahorgan have a natural affinity with sharks, but they're also... we've known them to work with other underwater creatures before, so sometimes there's like a slave race called Mero, which they sometimes work with, quite large, quite brutish, a little unintelligent, but the priestesses can somewhat control them and manipulate them. Quite brutish, dangerous combatants, but they're pretty dim. Mainly sharks, but also there's razorfish, which we might encounter. They're more of a natural hazard deep beneath the waves. As long as you're not bleeding, you should be all right. They're drawn to blood.
Right.
So as long as you're not heavily bleeding, you should be okay.
Now, to just make it absolutely clear,
Yeah.
Baroness,
Yes?
extremely adept at fighting capable that we saw, is
well-
not joining us.
No, I'm coming with you.
Oh, good.
Absolutely.
Oh,
no, of course
perfect.
I'm coming with you.
Yes.
These are my people. It's my mission. No, I'm
Excellent.
absolutely coming with you. I'm trained in combat and I know a few spells, but
You seem to hold your own.
well, I can try. But yeah, obviously, let's all work together and do our best. And hopefully, if you're interested in whatever the Sahorgan are up to, then we'll get to the bottom of it.
Sure.
Can I use my messenger ring and just suddenly become really interested in the ceiling?
Sure.
And then just be like, if they're with the Court of Shadows, there might be more Eterna similar to Night Frost. So we should keep an eye out for that.
Why don't we ask Helios if he can sense it?
Or Tiangong.
I
Helios
didn't-
can speak, right?
I didn't know if you guys wanted to talk about this with people. I'm so confused, so I'm just limiting it to messenger rings for now, so you don't shout at me.
I mean, if you detect anything, let us know through the message.
I'm pretty sure Helios will let us know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You've all gone quiet again. Are you all right?
All right,
Totally
This
fine.
ceiling's really
gearing
interesting.
up for swimming.
Is,
Right.
is silk a good choice for underwater?
Terrible.
No, probably terrible.
Yeah, worst.
Yeah. Any kind of loose flowing fabrics you want to try to bind up. You want to keep yourself as aerodynamic as possible.
I don't have anything else.
It's gonna
Then
be
take it
brilliant.
off.
It's very cold down there.
I mean, it will be. The water breathing might protect you a little bit, but these are pretty temperate waters. We're kind of at the midpoint of Aerois, so we're
How
at the
deep are we going?
pretty deep, but not deep enough for it to get too cold. I don't think.
Do I have to pop my ears?
For the Twilight Corals, no. If we have to go deep into the ravine, we should definitely will need to think about depth a little bit more.
Okay. What's the identifier for the High Priest?
She'll look similar to the others, but she'll probably have more iconography on her.
Right.
Also, she'll be very powerful. She'll probably have quite a lot of Sahorgan and Mero around her. I imagine that she'll probably be in the ravine. She'll be in like their nesting caves, I imagine. So we need to go down there and find out.
Okay.
Birdman, can't remember your name.
Quill, thanks.
Quill, sorry. Maybe stick close to your guardian friend, because I noticed that you're gonna you're a bit limited on momentum down there.
No, I am. Thank you. But that's the plan. I'm going to stick to sentry, basically.
All right. As an emergency, and she holds up her trident. As an absolute emergency, I can summon forth some creatures to get you out of danger if you need to get out. If you need to get to the surface quick,
They can swim us up.
Yeah, I can summon a few of my friends, sea friends, to swim you up.
How many of us will you be able to?
I think I can summon about 4 dolphins.
Right. Okay.
They're magical. They're not real dolphins, and they'll last about an hour.
I've heard of dolphins.
You've not? Oh, right. Yeah, you landwalkers probably wouldn't have seen any before, right? So, okay. Well, yeah, I can summon some dolphins if we need to.
I can't wait.
Sure.
That's a bit of a that's if for some reason you can no longer breathe, or if you get in trouble, then that's our quick exit.
That's all right.
Can I
Good
see
to know.
them now?
No, I can only summon them once a day.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm really excited. I just grew up reading about them. They were my favorite animal.
Yeah, landers are weird.
Drew a lot of pictures.
Reading it. You've never seen a dolphin before?
No.
Yeah, crikey.
I'm an air ganassi.
Strange. Right, and then she just jumps into the water. She just dives off of the side of the boat. 3-point dive.
Is that our
Start
cue?
swimming.
Is
I'm
that our
gonna dive
cue? Are we going?
Yes. Ayla splashes straight in.
Okay, that's
Can
definitely
we
our
roll
cue.
for dives?
Sure, you can roll for dives. Anyone
Yes.
like these two are pretty proficient. I'd say doing a nice.
Performance or
This would be acrobatics, I think, for a dive.
natural 20?
So yeah, Nova does this quite. Do you actually try and do a dive, or are you just and then just jump in?
I'd probably actually have swimming lessons, so I'd probably
I'd do a proper
fancy. Yeah.
Yeah, you do like a full nice
plus?
point dive. Acrobatics.
Yeah. I got 8.
Essentially, just sort of throws herself in,
Just walks off.
but the weight just kind of the armor and the shield just kind of rolls her over, and she just belly flops
Have
in.
you seen that video of the mum and the 2 kids by the side of the pool? And the mum dives, the kid next to them jumps in, and then the baby just goes boom, like
Oh
face
yeah. He just tumbles.
This
in.
is like this.
Very much that. What did Lucius?
I am double checking with Aerois and Kalara that everything's okay and leaving
Yeah.
the ship.
Alright, it is fine, Captain. We will be fine.
Good.
We'll remain here. I will take the airship a little bit up, but if you need help, just signal us and I'll bring us down.
I hand her my folded pajamas.
Oh,
Are you now
She
just
puts them in
naked?
the bag.
No, I've got
He's got pants.
tiny
on,
pants on,
Yeah.
which have an embroidered L on the front.
I'm assuming you have your focus, your arm.
The arm focus is on.
Yeah.
All the the useful things are on.
Okay. So you've kept your magic items. Do you have
How
a
do you-
bag for your other equipment?
I have a satchel.
You have so you have a satchel, the arm, and then pants.
what's your arm? Do you have no
Amazing.
armor? I guess
He's a
you
sorcerer.
AC.
sorcerer,
Yeah.
He's a sorcerer.
Base. So I got a 12.
Yep. Okay, 12. I mean, it's a dive. It's not a great dive, but you actually managed to get in the water. It's probably you end up feet first. You're more just and then in, and then Quill is the only one left on deck.
Well, I guess being Aarakocra, I am happy to just be in Aarakocra nude,
Okay.
where just no clothes, right?
Okay. Yeah, you can do. If you
Because
want, yeah.
You're a feathery boy.
Yeah, I'm a feathery boy, so I'm covering all my.
So you can keep your satchel and stuff, but you can take off all your robes and stuff.
I keep my satchel,
Okay.
and I didn't roll too well. I got an 8, so I guess I sort of turn onto the ladder, and I sort of slowly try and move down the ladder. But then a wet rung, I slip on that and just fall into the water.
And then you're kind of kicking around.
Yeah.
Classic bird, just making a mess.
Bird swimming is not the most elegant thing in the world.
I've done it once before.
I'd like to think
but
that Ayla
not well.
came back to the surface to watch the rest of them do this.
Yeah, you and Erin are both
She's just
watching them
top marks, bird! Top marks!
Oh, the Ganassi did all right though.
Yeah, she did good. I'm
a
impressed.
cracking good dive. Sentry, just as a point, whilst you are a guardian, you have metal parts.
Yeah.
You are also made of wood, which is buoyant. So you're not just sinking, but it's more the heavy armor and the shield and the weapons
Yeah.
is actually what's weighing you down more.
Yeah.
But you're also very strong, so you're still keeping your head above the water when you want. Just so you don't think that like Metal Mario, you sink to the bottom. You can swim. Also, do you want to add a short sword to your equipment and equip that rather
let's
than
do
your
that
battle
real
axe?
quick, yeah.
Yeah, so just go into equipment, add a short sword, and
Yeah.
equip that.
Cool.
Cool. All right. If you make your way
How do we work out our swim speed, by the way, if we don't?
It's half your movement
It's just
speed.
I
half
see, okay.
Yeah, but because you're not under threat, you basically can just move at a regular pace.
Sure.
And I'm guessing Erin and Ayla will probably scout ahead a little bit.
Sure.
So you guys swim ahead and then occasionally come back
Still
to
on
check
the
others.
surface.
You are, well, no, Erin just starts swimming underwater
Can we
straight
speak
away.
to each other?
We've got
You
messenger
you
rings.
can.
Oh,
You can
okay.
speak to each other
Telepathically.
telepathically. If you want to speak to Erin, you just have to get close because you can breathe. So it's actually, as soon as you start going under the water, it's strange. Like reflexively, you're holding your breath, but then you kind of, as your breath is getting desperate and you realize you need to breathe, you just inhale like by natural reflex. And the magic, it's just like it's like breathing very thick air. Like you can almost like you're like almost
Are you
swallowing
breathing
the
in
air.
air?
Yeah,
Water, sorry.
you're like breathing in the water, but it's
Oh, that's weird.
and it's the magic is filtering the
Oh, so it's
oxygen.
not
This
out.
is
there's
like
a
when
bubble in
you
our
when you
mouth.
watch something that's underwater for ages and you get like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But but it takes you like the first like 20 minutes of the swimming down is just you getting used to this idea that you can just breathe normally and you can speak.
messed up.
But the air is obviously it's like distorted, and if they're too far away, they just don't hear it. So you have to get close to the person you want to speak to. You normally need to be within about 10 to 15 feet for them to actually fully hear what you're saying. Otherwise, it's just and then just bubbles away.
I'm swimming by constantly casting gust, by the way. Casting
So you're just
gust.
kind of like propelling yourself like a little jet boat.
I'm like facing backwards.
Like a scallop.
Gust. Gust.
Okay, sure. That's incredibly
Doing
slow.
Backstroke.
It gives me 15 feet.
Wait, so what? It pushes 15.
I think so.
Yeah, push
Okay.
15.
Okay, yeah, right. Well, that's pretty much your
Oh, no,
speed
it's
then.
5,
5
but-
feet. But with your movement speed, yeah, you can basically propel
It
yourself.
helps.
Yeah, yeah. Gust is only a
I
cantrip.
just imagine you're like doing backstroke.
Yeah.
You're like,
But I'm just gusting the air.
The water here is surprisingly warm. It's
nice.
very temperate. This feels like almost like Caribbean, Mediterranean. You are at the equator. You're at the center of Aerois, effectively.
Also, I peed.
It's very warm. And as you begin to go
very
deeper, the afternoon sun is reflecting through the top of the waves, and you have this constant swell and surge of water all around you, and you occasionally feel like a very gentle current. The currents here aren't very strong, but as you begin to sink lower and lower, you begin to see schools of brightly colored fish, turtles swim by in the distance. And you begin sinking lower and lower and lower as the waves and the light begins to get dimmer and dimmer as you descend
Everyone pop,
further.
equalize, equalize.
But as you reach
Pop your ears, damn it.
down, you begin to see in the distance great coral formations, like underwater mountains, these huge spires of bright purple, dark blue, deep red formations, like brightly colored mountains scatter the landscape. Great clumps of ferns and seaweed attached to them like small forests that gently drift and sway in these gentle currents beneath the waves as this pleasant warm water surrounds you. It's not long, about an hour, hour and a half, swimming deep down, and you think maybe east or west, when you begin to see the outskirts of a village. The houses are constructed, they're like hollowed out coral formations, or large seashells, like from some enormous beast that have been hollowed and carved out. You can see that they've been decorated with bioluminescent sort of like paint that's been kind of painted on the side of it.
Bioluminescent algae is a diversion.
Sorry.
But yeah, you begin to see these, and almost like little farms. Like there's embedded into the sand at the bottom, you can see like these big strips of seaweed, like wheat, and these giant farms that have been collected. You see like nets, like three-dimensional farms. Rather than having like a pen in fences, there's nets coalesced into like a sphere, and there are fish caught in the inside, like a little farm.
Cool.
But you don't see any people. You don't see any tritons. And the water begins to turn a little colder, and the silence begins to grip you as that surging, that constant swell of water, and just the sound of your teammates swimming around you is really the only thing you can hear as the water just surges around you. If you guys want to place your miniatures all at the end
Sure.
of the battle map, and then this is Erin, the Triton.
Oh, cool.
Do we have to worry about the bends?
Wow.
No. not for now.
That's cool.
You can see that there are these large rock formations. There are plants. Some of them on the seabed. You can see that there are broken ruins, pieces of stone walls, ancient looking, covered in seaweed and ferns and bright flowers. Some of the plants have these long barbed tendrils, these large open kind of like leaves, like giant sort of like mouths almost, that loom up, begin gently swifting and swaying. And you see that just in the distance, perhaps about, sort of 80, 90, 100 feet ahead of you, you begin to see these houses embedded into the coral. For the purposes of the battle map, any of these kind of like worked stone walls are actually the coral houses. You can actually see them. They don't have doors, but they have holes, which are the windows.
Okay.
And yeah, they're built into coral formations themselves. And then you can see that there are various rocks and there are various kind of like plants all swimming around. Yeah, and that's what you see when you initially enter the area. We're not going to roll initiative, but I want you guys to just track your turns and your movement. So like let everybody move or decide what they're doing. We're not in initiative, but it's just more like your movement and what you're doing. Just let's keep a track of that as you explore this settlement, basically. Erin leads the way. And she kind of like points, she swims closer to you, and through the kind of distended water, you hear her just say like, well, this is the Coral Twilights, but things don't look good. We should have been met by guards. There should have been people out on those farms. I've not seen anything. I've not even seen traces of bodies. We should be careful. We should be really careful.
Okay.
How bright is?
So, it is dim light. You can see the vague outlines of everything, but detail you will need a light source for. Obviously, torches and things will not work down here. You will need magical light.
Dancing lights.
Dancing lights is absolutely perfect.
Even better. Evocation, cantrip, light.
Yep. You can just summon light and it will project around you.
Cool.
The light does refract and, warp some things, but yeah.
Can I ask the Baroness, is there anything here that is useful? Is this village known for anything? Is there a resource or magical artifacts, or would there be a reason that this is a village?
I mean, the reason that the village was placed here was basically because it's quite quiet. The temperature's quite warm. Most people that came to live here were farmers, people that wanted to get away from the largest settlements, people that wanted a quiet life, But there is the ravine nearby, the Cold Light Depths. Now, we've known that there have been Sahorgan in that ravine for a long time, but they were a small force. They were pretty malnourished. They didn't have a lot of equipment. So King Tidesilver did establish a small garrison here. We sent some of our elite troops, basically soldiers who wanted to, not retire, but they were well trained, and we wanted to give them a bit of a relaxing place for the last few years. And they've been keeping things under control up until now. So, but in terms of there's not a mine or anything like most. This is just a quiet little place, almost a place for people to raise families.
Before Yamalotai, would this be the place they'd attack first?
It is the closest settlement to the depths, yes. But there should have at least been a battle here. The warriors should have at least fought back. I don't think we'll see anything. We'll need to move closer in, maybe explore, maybe investigate some of the houses, see what happened.
Okay. Would you suggest we use lights to guide our way, or would that lead them to us?
If there's anybody here, then yes, obviously lights will give us away under the water. Sahorgan can see in the dark, so they don't need lights really.
In which case, we need light
Either way.
Yeah.
to balance the odds.
And stay close.
All right. Yep. And she'll swim she'll go through that little rock formation, like the little corridor there, and she'll swim 30 feet towards the village.
Cool, so she goes quite a way in.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll catch up.
Slowly.
Ayla can go at her normal speed.
Well, my normal speed's 45, so.
Oh, okay, so you're going to just go 30, okay.
I'll cast light. I guess, can I cast it on like the Hesper charm that I've got?
Yeah, you can cast it on an object.
So I'll cast it on that and then move slowly forwards, 5, 10, 15.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll move in line with Quill.
I'll move forward 15 as well.
Okay.
15 for me.
So you guys are all sticking together, and then Ayla and Aaron are
I'll
basically.
cast Dancing Lights, but keep it on one person each.
So you just keep one above each of you.
Quill doesn't need one.
With the dancing lights and the light, you've got plenty. Basically.
Actually, sorry, can I cast it on Sentry Shield instead?
Sure. Yeah.
light.
Sentry Shield is
Actually, is
technically
that-
softly glowing anyway.
Yeah.
It's not bright light though.
Yeah.
Light gives like a 30-foot radius
I
of
mean,
bright
she's
light.
the front line at the moment. It makes sense that she has the light
You
on
also
me.
don't have any clothes
Okay.
on.
I've got my Hesper.
Let's go its holy symbol. What's your passive perception, Ayla?
14.
Okay. Never mind. Ayla, actually, one thing you would notice, Ayla, as you get closer, you see, you see a creature in front of you and Aaron. You see an amorphous blob of viscous-looking liquid with these long tendrils, and every now and then a little bit of charge runs up and down its body, like a little crackle of lightning kind of echoes up and down its body. It's a jellyfish.
Oh,
Erin kind of gestures you away, like, you don't want to get too close to Storm Cloud. They'll zap you if you get too close. If you get within 5 feet of it or so, it'll zap you. So
Cool.
she like gestures for you to swim around her. And then she's going to wait for the rest to catch up before she heads in any further.
You guys
Yeah, put us all in together.
You guys can take some time, like, it's just like track, like, how long you're taking. Because don't forget you can dash as well.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't take any other actions, you can swim 30 feet.
and I guess I'm also just, I guess, looking around as well. So,
Yeah?
like, looking around.
Well, unless
see
you want to go
anything.
another way.
Yeah, do you want to go around the other side, or do you want to swim through that little crevice? Don't forget, it's also 3D. You can swim over stuff as well, but just remember it's 5 feet up and over.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Remember, it's a 3D space, so you can go up
Where do you
and
want to
down.
go?
Probably
Sure.
like up. Just up on the top there, yeah.
Cool.
It's real slimy. Slimy rock.
Yeah, we're not too
Where do you
far
wanna
behind
go?
Ayla, at least.
I'll just go through the crevice following Sentry.
Through the crevice? Through the crevice?
I'll stay at the back.
Okay.
You can stay
I'm
at the
going to
back.
basically stay behind Sentry, like, at all times. She's also got the light as well,
Okay.
just in case.
Okay. Well, yeah, you guys begin making your way through. Again, you don't notice anything. Erin waits for you guys all to swim up. You begin to see with the light, you begin to see that there are marks in the ground. Looks like big, heavy drag marks, maybe. But also you begin to see that there are, like, chips of metal, broken ends of like a spear half buried in the sand. There are signs of activity, but there's no blood or bodies that you can see.
Can we do a perception check? Like,
Yeah, you can make a perception check, yeah. I mean, I'm tracking your passive perceptions.
It seems like they tried
But
to
right now you're
cover
still
up.
quite far away from the village.
Can I
may as well
see
try.
how many of those kind of drag marks there are?
From back here, like maybe 1 or 2, but they kind of lead into the village.
What way do they look like they're being
They've
dragged?
been dragged from those outer farms that you passed on your way in. They look like they've been dragged towards the village.
Okay.
16.
16 perception,
I got 18, so less than my pass.
18 perception, still good.
I'm not
Okay,
looking.
so yeah, Quill, just on the cusp of that 18.
So, just so I'm sure, if I roll perception and it's less than my passive,
So
is
the
that
difference
still
is,
better?
yeah. So the difference is that your passive is something I will track. So, but there will be like limits to it, right? So in this case, and I'll explain why. If you'd gotten closer to the village, I would have just told you with your passive.
Right.
Because you're further out, but you're actively like listening and like searching for stuff.
Sure, okay.
I'm going to give you the same information, right?
Okay.
So it's the kind of passive is like you'll just get it regardless.
Yeah.
But if you actively choose to make a check, you might get information earlier than what I would have given it to you
I see.
before, right?
Sure, that makes sense.
So in this case, as you're listening and you're looking around for any signs of something, and Quill with your super keen eyesight, at the very back in this area, you see like little pulses of light, maybe coming from the coral houses and the formations. You can also see what in the kind of men's central area, floating limbs, like hands.
Oh God.
No blood, but definitely limbs. You can also see that some of those limbs, like tiny schools of fish, are feeding on them, like nibbling and biting away. And you think, strain your ears. And Nova, you pick up on this hearing-wise as well. This whole area, this whole time you've been swimming, there's been so little sound because you just have this swell, this churn of the ocean. Now you get closer to the center of this village. And you're certain that it's not a real scream. But there's like a haunting cries and screams, like echoes. Like ghostly voices calling out.
Is it similar to like the ghost voices we heard in the depths of the night eyes? Like,
You don't know what it is, but whatever happened here, it's left a dark taint on this place. And now you begin to notice that apart from those jellyfish and these schools of fish feeding on these limbs, there's no other signs of life. There's no other fish, there's no other shellfish, there's no crustaceans. Like, this place is devoid of all life. And you begin to see more and more like signs of broken weapons and things like where the coral has been broken, where it's been cut, or it's been like scraped and clawed and ripped apart. Something very bad happened here.
Yeah. I'll communicate. Like, there's potentially people at the back there and all the limbs and stuff.
Do the claw marks look like, Triton fingers desperately gripping on while they've been dragged away, or is it the sign of a larger creature?
Some of them look like pieces, like it doesn't look like finger marks, but it looks like people have grabbed and then it's like the coral's broken off. But then there are also points that just look like these very large, like larger than normal sized claws have like raked it.
There's something very big here, if it's still here.
Quill? Your eye, has that recharged? Can you see?
Good question. Has it recharged? It was 3 or 4 days since we left. I think I asked this last time, and it was.
I think it's something where you're going to need to keep a track on it because I can't remember exactly when you last used it. You had like 2-3 days on the ship from Gusthaven to Yamalotai.
Yeah, well, I last used it in the cell, and apparently we spent like 7 days or so sorting out the library stuff in the ship as well.
You did spend some time there, so yeah, probably. In that case, yeah, sure. So roll your D3.
D3. 3,
So it's a
2 charges back. Neato. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Is it worth seeing what happened here?
I could find out.
Remember, you need to be in the location, so if you want the village, you'll need to be closer. You're still on the outskirts at this point. You're kind of on these kind of like plants and rock formations.
I could, if we get closer, I can find out what happened in the middle there, but I could also ask about these bigger rips in the earth to find out actually what caused that. But
yeah, well, that's what I
see
mean,
that
because
at
if
the front
you asked what happened here, surely you would see what is making the big scares.
yeah, I mean, okay, in that case...
You may also see it if you get close enough anyway, so be careful.
True. In that case...
Do you want to use it?
I mean, I'll find like one of the
Erin is going to start swimming like closer, but slowly. She's only going to go 15 feet. She'll go around the jellyfish, so she doesn't get too close to it.
Right.
Stay out of 5 foot range, yeah.
Okay. I feel like I know what's going to happen here.
Also, it's quite dark down here. There is a blue glow near Quill and Ayla as a little goblin made from translucent energy phases into existence.
I guess he's not swimming, is he?
He's not swimming, he's a ghost. So you just this like, now that it's darker and you're out of the sunlight, this like
fantastic.
and he's like floating around like
Swim, speed. Okay, I don't know.
he like half doggy paddles, but he isn't really.
That could be metagaming, actually. Yeah. I won't do what I was going to do.
I'm going to find one of the biggest, like, massive claw marks.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to ask, I guess, what caused this?
Okay. So what one of the claws,
Are
not
you
the
doing
pieces that
thing
broken
here?
off. Yeah, this area around
Wherever
here.
there's
you
a
can see some-
massive tear in
Yeah,
there.
this little kind of like little kind of half cave. Yeah, so you find like the claw marks. You feel once
biggest
again the familiar foggy vision of the Eye of the Storm clouds your sight. and begins rushing for a moment, like kind of almost speeding through fog at a great speed. And then you see a vision, and this time for once, actually, you're still in the same space you were. You're not in a different place this time. Whereas when you've used this before, you've gone to different places. This time you stay, and you're almost still there yourself, and you see a large, blue-skinned, shark-like in its appearance, with a great hinged jaw, creature with like a long, eel-like tail and fins, dragging a Triton woman by her hair, and she's kicking and screaming. She's bleeding profusely from cuts, and he just grips onto the coral and yanks like back as he like throws her behind him into the waiting arms of more of these creatures. And you see a Sahagan priestess just gesturing for the woman to be brought to her. The woman tries to fight back, and one of these large creatures just skewers her with a large spear. And she just like, and the blood begins pooling out and spilling into the water, clouding the area in front of her red. And then the Sahagan priestess just is like, she's speaking a language you don't understand. And she begins like just stroking the face and just nods, and then begins pulling her back towards the village.
Okay, so there's
And then your vision snaps back.
massively bejeweled priestess, perhaps?
No, she looks similar to the ones that you've seen before.
Oh, okay.
So while Quill is doing that, what is the rest of everyone else doing?
I mean, Kim's having a freak out here.
Yeah.
Like,
Freaking out.
yeah. Just,
Can I ask Helios how he's doing? Talking with Helios?
Yeah.
You right, mate? How's it going?
He's like, I'm fine.
cat underwater.
I do not sense the difference in environment as you do.
Good to know.
Good to know, buddy. I'm just gonna follow
Okay.
Erin as she's going.
Yeah. Okay. So
Is she moving?
yeah,
forward,
she'll
or-
move quiet. And I think she's somewhat of a trained soldier, so she's going to start moving quieter. So she's kind of stealthing underwater by like keeping low to the ground and trying to minimize her movements. So she kind of like, and you can see that underwater between her hands, like this webbing has appeared, like that wasn't there before. This kind of like webbing has grown, and she just kind of like one swift push, and she lets that, like the drift of like the current propel her to a rock. And then she holds there for a moment. So she's going to try and stealth for a little bit. And she rolls well.
Ish.
She doesn't have any training in stealth, so 15. Yeah, and she slides over towards this rock here, basically.
Pretty good. So she's not near the where I saw the limbs and bits.
That's
She's getting closer to it, yeah.
Right, okay. I guess everyone else needs to take a turn first.
Yeah.
I would stay beside Quill while he's tripping.
I guess it's readily obvious when I'm...
Not to the others, actually, no. I mean, you just go, it's 6 seconds. It's like you see all of this in the time it takes for 6 seconds to pass in the real world.
Sure.
So it's like you have a brief moment and then you're back into it.
But enough for everyone else to do whatever actions they need to do. Anyway.
Yeah, like one turn of actions, yeah.
Following sentry.
Yeah, where do you guys move? Are you guys going to move up?
I'm gonna follow.
Erin?
Seeing that she's stealthing more, I'm gonna stealth.
Okay.
Cool. Rolls a 17.
Okay.
Stealth. I'm
Boom.
gonna
Kind of go over to this. You can see there's this like thick seaweed like fern with these, great kind of tendrils of seaweed that begins drifting out.
Cool. I'll probably let the other guys know that you've now started sneaking, that Ayla's started sneaking, so now we should probably start doing the same. So
Okay.
we'll try and stealth forward a little bit.
Remember, you have disadvantage sentry.
Yeah, so
Where do you wanna go to?
15.
just forward, straight forward.
Like hug the edge of the
Yeah.
cave bit.
Don't forget,
and
if you
just
don't
go-
do anything else, you can dash, so you can actually go 30 underwater.
Okay. Yeah, like there. That's cool.
There?
Yeah.
Yep. Let everyone else
That was
catch up.
10 feet. Do you want to
Yeah,
go
that's one more. Yeah, maybe.
here?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're actually not too far away from the rock that everyone else is at.
No.
Where do you want to go?
Nova fell.
Follow sentry.
I want to stay next to Quill.
Where do you want to go?
I'm staying because I'm
'Cause
still
he's
looking at
tripping.
thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's only
Where
a
do you
turn,
want to go?
so...
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I'll start heading out. I'm also going to try and drift above the floor
Okay.
because touching the floor would like billow up loads of sand and dust.
Yeah, if you're not like Erin knows what she's doing, so she does this one swift burst and then lets the current drift to the rest of the way. If you were swimming normally, you'd be kicking up loads of dust. So if you want to swim up slightly higher, so you can put Lucius up higher.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay.
I guess once I'm out of it, I'll say what I saw to everyone with the messenger rings. I can't communicate that to Erin,
but you can communicate on the messenger rings. The jellyfish kind of just begins drifting closer towards.
Like a jelly bubble.
Oh, do they?
Yep.
They just want to be.
Erin and Ayla, as you begin getting closer, you can see that from the far building into the coral, this one back here, you see flashes of dark purple, this kind of faint pulse of purple magic glowing through the holes of the coral house. Like this kind of like of purple energy.
I will say that in the messenger thing to the other guys.
Erin just kind of gestures and points at that, and basically starts pulling out her trident at the ready.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll have my hammer ready to go.
I'm guessing I didn't see glowy purple lights in the vision at all.
Didn't.
Can I, Quill? The priestess, was she wearing any jewelry or anything that looked like? Remember when we saw the girls that worshipped Zarkira and they had amulets?
In fact, as Nova mentions it, she was clutching a staff that had that emblem at the top of it. It looked like the staff was maybe made from like a broken piece of metal, and then the emblem has been attached to it with like underwater twine and stuff like that, like a crudely made staff, but it had Zarkira's emblem.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're looking at sacrifices for power.
I think it's the same thing as before, yeah.
Okay.
Ayla and Erin, there is a disturbance in the water and like a pulse of water, like power just kind of out from that house.
Pulse of
house?
magic, pulse of magic.
This
Any
far
ideas?
one back here.
People, do I notice anything else happening after that pulse of magic?
For the moment, it just kind of like, and then, I mean, maybe at this distance, like you can begin to hear a faint muttering, hissing, kind of like, just barely kind of audible on the waves.
I think chances are they sacrificed the Tritons to power the spell for Zarkira. Like, remember when we were in the girls in the village and they were doing the same, but we interrupted it? Bad.
Can I just drift around next to Erin and tell her, say to her, do you know if, like whispering, but do you know of any sacrifice rituals that that Sahagin might have?
She kind of shakes her head like, this is the first time they've really been using magic when they attacked Yamalotai. They've always just been like beasts, almost like just slightly smarter than sharks. They've got more intelligent. I've never heard of sacrifices. I mean, maybe they would, I can imagine them taking my people to eat, but nothing else. We should be careful, something's definitely wrong here. I can sense it in the water. And she's going to begin just kind of like drifting off, like, bring your other friends up, and then she's going to drift away.
Everybody come closer, please.
So you're saying we can move 30 if we wanted to?
If you want to just dash, basically.
Cool, I will catch up to Sentry and go to the side of her, I guess.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, we're the same.
Okay. Lucius?
Lucius
Put me next to the jellyfish, why don't you?
is gonna
On the other side of you.
go over the
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, so there.
Yep, but you're flying
But
above
still
the
above.
jellyfish. Yep.
And I'm not gonna dash. I'll ready a chromatic orb
Okay.
for if anything comes out of that looks really nasty and
Out
wants
of
to
here?
attack us, I will fire an acid chromatic orb at it.
Okay. You guys weren't, how stealthy were you guys moving, or did you move stealthily?
I dashed, so I mean, I don't know if I can
I
dash.
did my
still.
normal.
You can, disadvantage.
Sure.
All of us
Cool.
disadvantage.
If you're trying to move stealthy, then yeah. I'll let you say that if you want.
Roll at disadvantage.
You're disadvantage if you dashed. Yes. 10.
I'm probably not going to dash.
Okay.
So
Then just make it normally. You go 5 feet back. Yeah, you can go back.
I got a nat 20 on the first one and a 7 on the second.
Damn.
11.
15 for me.
As more of you begin kind of swimming up, not as quietly as Ayla and Erin have been, you begin to like kick up, and as Lucius kind of passes over the jellyfish, there is this kind of like spark as it senses something nearby, kind of like not enough for it to attack you, but it just kind of like pulses with power. Sentry, like as you kind of swim down, this kind of just a piece of like rock or coral like donks against the shield, like where you've kicked it up, and the currents, it's like dunk. And just the currents, it's almost like a ripple in a pond, right? The currents as you're swimming change ever so slightly and subtly underneath, under the water. That's it.
Okay. Cheers.
It all sounds like that travel far as well, underwater.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Cool.
Cool. Basically, I've right-clicked Sentry, I've clicked follow.
Okay, so you're just going to follow as behind. Okay.
Yep.
I know that reference.
/
Erin will
follow.
Yeah.
/ in Quilplers.
I've
going
sent
to
so
come all
many
the way
hopes,
around
by the
to
way.
here and start hiding around here.
Oh, so she's like, what, 10 feet from the water?
Do I see?
She's trying to like see inside, basically.
Do I see any of the stuff
Yes.
floating about?
As you get closer, you begin to see there are hands, like Triton hands, that have been severed, and they've been like where the rest of the arm was. It's been sort of like just kind of like rotted away. There is also near the other buildings that Lucius and maybe you can see a bit more, floating around on the inside are these tiny like razorfish, these like big fish with big piranha-like mouths, and they're eating body parts. They're like
Having a great time.
But more importantly, as you get closer to the house on the end, Ayla, you see another of these like pulses of purple magic, and then a shape begins to emerge.
Cool.
You see this kind of, at first, there's almost a sense of relief from both you and Erin as you see initially what appears to be like a Triton hand. So not clawed, but like a Triton slightly webbed hand kind of emerges.
Initially.
Perhaps a little larger than expected. And then followed behind it is a grotesquely swelled, kind of almost like pumped up arm as this huge arm kind of stretches out. And then another kind of like arm pulls out of the building and it pulls itself shakingly free. And then finally, she probably would have once been a Triton, but now her face has been stretched into a wide shark-like grin. A pair of horns has begun to sprout from her head and curve back, and her whole head has been like stretched, like it's been elongated and enlarged through magic very rapidly as this giant body begins to basically just pull itself through.
I don't know about this one, Mark.
And as it kind of
Feel pretty sick, Mark.
as it kind of pulls itself free, it kind of like looms, looks up, and it just kind of begins swaying in the water, not seemingly seeing you or Erin as you're kind of like clutched in amongst these like coral and reeds.
I will telepathically communicate to the other guys what the hell I just saw.
I throw up.
Just stays in front of you.
Coming behind it, emerging from the building, you see a Sahagan priestess, but different to the ones you saw before. The ones before you saw were these kind of like almost blue-skinned humanoids, but they had these kind of grotesque shark-like appearances, like this rubberized skin, these large mouths filled with teeth and black eyes. The one that emerges looks distinctly more humanoid and more like a Triton. Still big black eyes like a shark's, but pupils now. Her mouth is still full of razor sharp fangs, but there's almost a delicateness to it as her shape, and you can see her body is still reforming. Like you can see that it's kind of shifting to become more of a humanoid shape. Where she once had these kind of fat, kind of swollen, finned legs, they're becoming this long, slender tail, like a sea serpent's. As she pulls herself free, though, she, however, with her passive perception, absolutely sees you and Erin as she pulls free.
Already in action.
The creature that came out first. If you were going to target a creature, that would have been the first one.
Big boy.
Yeah. It didn't look like it was going to attack anything, because it hadn't seen anyone yet, but you definitely see it.
I mean, would you have shot it even if it didn't see you? I guess.
Yeah, you can choose not to take the readied action. So you do.
Okay.
So, two things happen at once then. You see Cam conjure this sphere of magic and launch it towards the large bloated creature, but the Sahorgan priestess just raises her hand and this shriek, this kind of like echolocation, sonar-like screech, like, and the water begins rippling. And as it does, emerging from the other two buildings that you hadn't gone to, you see these two enormous bipedal snake-like tail-legged creatures, the Merrow, the blue-skinned creatures that Quill saw with these large claws. But they also appear to be carrying these large harpoon-like spears with chains attached to them. They also appear to have scraps of Court of Shadows armor crudely attached to their bodies.
Is that unique to when I last saw them?
Yes.
Oh.
And that, my friends,
I think that's initiative,
is
isn't it?
initiative.
Okay.
I want to
Brand
go
new awareness
home.
dice. Oh, well, the big boy is very slow.
That's fine. They're big boys. So, big boys either side of us.
Do I get off this chromatic orb before this initiative?
Yeah, the chromatic orb is basically the same time as the other creatures emerge. So that's your surprise round, effectively.
Sick.
Let's roll for the Merrow. Not much better.
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, terrible initiative.
I don't like the sound of underwater combat. Just get the dolphin.
I love it.
Let's go.
I love the idea
Let's
of
just
it.
dolph out of here.
Dolphin
Dolph
grip.
out.
Get the dolph out there.
Need to
Dolphin
dolph
grip.
off. Go dolph yourself. Hey, get dolph, kiddo. Someone interrupt
He's
me.
still talking.
Right. Are you still talking?
Ayla.
23.
Quill.
17.
Nova.
9.
Lucius.
20.
Sentry.
12.
9.
9.
And then Erin is at 9 as well.
I'm freaking out.
Okay, well, let's just kick this off before we go on break.
With a little round of combat.
Ayla.
Hello.
So, in fact, sorry, let's do the chromatic orb, actually, sorry.
Yeah.
So, range spell attack is a magic spell, so it does not suffer the penalties for
12.
range. 12 to hit against the big thing is a hit. It's wearing no armor. You can see that whoever this woman once was, her body has been twisted and ripped apart. Like, she's basically naked except for a few scraps covering her up. But her body has been distended and, I mean, she's large. She's big. You can see her muscles bulging with power.
How much DiMaggio?
18
Oh.
plus 5 dichromancy on the priestess, please.
Okay, there's a pen down here that I can use. So, 18, what type of damage?
Acid.
Acid damage, okay, to that creature. And then how much to the priestess? 5?
5.
Okay. So that goes off before anything, and then it goes to Ayla's go. And that basically, as the orb hits, that's when the two creatures begin swarming out of the other rooms.
Oh, no.
And the Sahorgan's like, and like kind of gestures towards
And they
all
look
of you.
similar, like distorted, horrible.
No, these ones look different. These are like blue-skinned, like fishmen.
The one in the video.
Yeah, these are Merrow.
Cool.
Okay.
Marrow.
I'm gonna swim up to the priestess.
Okay.
And rage, and then hit her.
Okay, so bonus action to rage.
That's
Swim up.
hot. I got a natural 20.
Let's just open this up by wiping a boy.
And
Wiping a boy.
natural 20, no joke.
Are you serious?
Wow.
2 in a row?
One was cocked, and then I got 2 natural 20s.
Nice.
right.
Awesome.
Cool.
That's a double damage.
Very nice.
That's a lot of damage.
That's D&D. So max damage on the
That's
first one, then
D&D.
roll a dice.
Okay.
That's
I've never got a crit with these new rules.
So
Shit.
it's basically max damage on the dice. So what's your
So
normal
10.
damage dice? 10 plus your strength or your normal
5.
damage bonus.
So 15,
17
17 with
and now just
the
roll
Howling
another d10.
Tempest plus the 6 from my aura. Does that? the d6 for my...
You can't do your aura because you raged as a bonus action. It's a bonus action to use your aura.
So 17
Plus another d10.
plus 13 for the first one.
Hang on, 17 plus... How can it be 13? It's just the d10. So you do 10
17
plus
plus
7
6.
for your damage.
So 23
So, okay, 23. Okay.
on the first one.
On the first
second
one.
is the same.
The
17
second one,
plus.
it'll be 17 plus 8.
17 plus 8 is 25.
47 damage. You destroyed
Oh my
it.
god!
Yeah, you literally swim up to this priestess, and she raises her hand like ready to cast a spell or do something. Before you can do that, you just spin in the water, and just the hammer just cleaves her head, just rips the head from her body, as with all the force that you can muster, just as the head just comes loose.
Oh, just instantly stops
The
her scream.
creature near you goes berserk. Like, as soon as the priestess dies, it just begins howling and screaming under the water. It begins tearing at its own flesh. It goes insane. Cool.
God, I imagine there's
Crikey.
just like a wake of blood
Yeah,
behind
it's
her
just,
hammer.
and that's the other thing. With all the blood, you notice the giant
Oh, my
schools of
bad.
fish.
I didn't mean to do that one.
Can you stop just talking ever?
Hey, Mark. You could say thanks if you want.
No.
Oh.
No,
And if-
daddy's boy here.
I'm literally gonna, put a gag in
Lucius.
your mouth for any time that's not your turn.
I think people would be more annoyed if I didn't.
I'm going to 5, 10, 15 away from those.
Up, up and away.
But can I go
Zip out.
down behind the jelly boop?
It will attack you if you go there.
Like within
Yeah,
there?
do you go there?
He's using it as cover.
I want to keep a good arc on it, so can I be as high up as far away before it starts?
Where do you want to be?
I noticed the buzz when I went up here, right?
Yep.
So I just kind of want to arc there, like there.
What?
I mean,
halfway.
just put yourself on the higher up thing so we know that you're above the water. But yeah, okay.
But I'm kind of behind the jelly.
You're not behind it, you're above it.
Well,
You said.
yeah,
said
but
you're above it.
I was trying to be halfway down as well.
Right, you're still above it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's kind of floating all around
Sure.
the bottom level.
Sure. Whatever.
So you can't get cover from it unless you are next to it.
And I'm going to cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Okay.
Is that ice?
Yeah.
It is cold damage.
Is he frozen? I'm going to stop talking.
No.
It's magic. It's magic. I almost said Magic Mike then. It's Magic Mike.
What's the speed on the little swarms of fish? Swarms of fish.
But they go towards blood, don't they?
Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Oh man, they just immediately get to
Oh
the...
god.
15, 20, 25.
But that guy has the spawn of Satan has just ripped their skin open, right?
It's torn at its skin, but no blood's come out. But the blood from the priestess is filling the area, and these things are coming towards that and are beginning to feed ravenously on what it can find there. They're not attacking Ayla.
Punt her head towards the monster.
She's not bleeding.
So that's the swarms. Quill.
Blood, though. Oh, Quill.
That's you, boy.
Is it me? I think Sentry's got 20.
No, I got 12.
Oh yeah.
We'll
That
do
makes
this round of
sense.
combat, then we'll take the break.
Man, I'm going to dip... Oh, no, I'm not.
Careful with your miniature. though.
Yeah,
You're
you're
literally
right.
bending
Yeah,
forward.
that boy is.
In fact, your foot's already come
You've
off.
got no foot.
Don't know how you've done that.
There's
but
no
carry on.
foot on your
You are
bird.
very aggressive with that mini.
Yeah.
Not that aggressive, but I lost a leg. All
I
right.
mean, you have. So.
I literally just watched you squeeze it.
Yeah.
Right, well, I'm going to back up a little bit. And then
Lost the leg.
5, 10,
never
15,
coming
20,
back.
25, 30, 35. So he's in range. Could I...
40 feet.
That's not.
5,
That's-
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Do
What?
you want to be within 40?
Oh, no. I was just seeing if it was in range of a guiding bolt.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to do. I'm going to
Okay.
guiding bolt him.
Okay.
Although I haven't got recharge spells. Yikes.
What?
Big oof.
Since the last fight. I guess we haven't had a long rest, have
You
we?
haven't? No.
Nope.
Well, either way. I will do a level 2 guiding bolt on this
Okay.
boy. So plus 7 to hit. Boom!
On the marrow.
On the marrow that was near Lucius.
This one.
16?
Yeah. We'll call that marrow A.
Yeah.
16 hits. Just.
Oh!
Blast
5d6.
past the remnants of armor around its body.
Awesome. 5d6.
That's insane.
6, 1, 7,
What level is that?
10, 11, second level.
Second level. 5d6.
Yeah.
Guiding Bolt's really good.
Also 120 feet range.
It's actually quite overdue
OP.
for its level. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's why I keep telling you. That's why I don't heal you. 13 damagios.
13 radiant.
Yeah, and advantage on whoever hits it next.
The next, yeah, okay, perfect. That's just your go, fully done.
I can't do any bonus actions, so I'll, stay like that.
Okay, it would be the priestess. She's dead.
Instantly.
Cool. I think I'm gonna channel divinity. So if I did turn the faithless, how would that work?
How does it work? Tell us.
Okay, so as an action, you present your holy symbol, and each fail fiend within 30 feet of you that you can hear must make a wisdom saving throw. On a fail, the creature is turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage.
Okay, so turning means it becomes frightened of you, basically. It has to move away from you.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, any fiend or fey creatures within 30 feet?
Nice. Cool, so I'll do number A, boy,
Okay.
and I'll
Marrow A.
marrow A,
15, 20, 25, 30. You'd have to move
forward
like
one.
one there.
Yeah.
Okay, I can tell you that when you try to channel divinity, this creature is neither fiend nor fey.
Okay.
So you summon the power of Solvin to try and push this thing away, to get it out of your sight, but whatever it is, it does not seem to understand the power that you're driving into it, and it does not seem to be affected, unfortunately.
Interesting. No problemo. And let's see.
So that's your action, and you've used 5 foot of movement.
Yeah. So then I'm going to cast Shield of Faith as a bonus action.
Yep,
That's got a 60 feet range on it.
sure. Who do you want to cast it on?
I'm going to cast it on Quill. It's plus 2 AC for
Okay.
10 minutes.
Plus 2 AC. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet, thank you.
Just remembered an ability. Something that I should have done earlier. Never mind. Okay. After Sentry, we go to Nova.
Can I move so I'm within 30 foot of this boy?
Mm-hmm.
So
Here again.
So how much movement was that? Because you only got
Yeah.
15 foot.
Oh,
yeah. 5, 10, 15.
no.
Yeah?
You're just.
So am I within 30 foot of him?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Just, yeah.
Okay. Can I
30 feet.
cast Hexblade Curse on him?
Yep.
And then I'm just going to go for
That's your
Eldritch
bonus
Blast.
action, and then Eldritch Blast. Yep.
Do I get advantage?
Advantage from the first one at least.
So the
yeah.
first beam.
The first beam, yeah.
Well, the first that hits?
Yes. Well, it's multiple attacks with
Oh,
Eldritch
yeah.
Blast, so
16. So 16 plus 7
it's going to hit.
is going to hit.
23.
So the first one hits
It's a D10.
7 points of damage.
Okay.
And then the second
That one
beam
does not have advantage.
does not have a plus 3 damage because it's plus 3 damage from my
Hexblade's
Hexblade.
Curse. Yep.
So that's 10 points to start with.
Yep.
13 plus 7 is 20.
Hits.
Boom.
10 again. 10 points of damage again.
Okay. Yeah, that one seems heavily injured now as you blast it with magic from a distance. It kind of like gets slammed in the water as it gets blasted back.
Just waiting for them to move, though.
Erin's turn. Erin, faced with one of her own people, that's obviously the subject of this thing, I'm going to make a wisdom saving throw for her, which she passes. She will basically try and attack this giant thing, basically. She will swim up to it and begin trying to attack it. And she will cast Booming Blade.
Ooh, that do.
She misses. Two plus a 6. So she goes to thrust, and you feel this kind of like thunderous energy erupt from her trident, but the creature is actually surprisingly swift and like dodges to the side, and then begins whipping its head around.
Booming Blade isn't like a next hit sort of spell, is it?
If it hits, it deals extra damage, and then if you try to move, it will do stuff. And then finally we have, and then we'll take a break after I do this. The 2 marrows are going to go.
Uh-oh, this is when they start to tear us to shreds.
This one will go.
Oh, he's not going to...
He's got a
This
harpoon
one.
though.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
They're
yikes.
doing a pincer attack.
So, both Mero, one will target Nova and one will target Quill. They hurl these harpoons at you to try and basically impale you with the harpoons. That's a natural 20 against Nova.
I'm going to react to protect on Nova.
You can. I have disadvantage. Becomes a 19. I just rolled it the second attack.
It's not a nat
so it's
20
not
though.
a crit,
Yeah,
but it's still a
that's
hit. Quill, a 2.
Hey.
Son of a biscuit.
Nice.
Yeah,
Got the high EC as well, thanks to the Shield of Faith.
you do. So Nova, you're going to take
Hellish rebuke.
Wow.
You're going to take 9 points of piercing damage,
All right. Oh wait.
and then can you make a strength check for me, please?
Here we go. Here we go. Do I get advantage because of Sentry?
Nope.
You
She
get a
protected you
+2
from the attack.
because of-
It's not a saving throw.
You've been.
It's just a strength contest.
Ooh.
So you have been
Just a straight up
pooed.
strength through.
Strength, just a strength check. D20 plus strength.
8.
8. You are pulled 20 feet towards the marrow.
Whoa.
5, 10, 15.
Right.
So he would have been a bit further back. And then he's going to bite you. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
That is a hell of a play.
For a 17.
Exactly.
Oh. For a total of 10 more points of piercing damage. As he rams you with a harpoon, yanks you in, and then... Can you let me know when you're below half your hit point maximum, please?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
I'm not there yet, but
No, but anybody, just anybody, let me know when you're below half your hit points. Finally, this thing is going to turn, and it goes for Ayla. It's not going to move
Freaking
out of
piranhas,
Thingy's
isn't it?
reach.
yeah.
Yeah,
It reaches Ayla, and then it is going to make a multi-attack. It's going to attempt to bite you and claw you. First hit is a 21 with its bite.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's a hit. Yep. And then the second one is a 21 as well.
yikes.
So you're going to take...
What kind of damage is it?
You're going to half all of this, because it's not magical. So it's 6, so half the 3 for the first attack. And then that is 5 half the 2. So you take 5 total damage.
What a little chump. What an ugly, weird little chump.
I will remember this. And with that, that's a full round of combat.
Yeah.
And it's break time. So we're going to take a quick break.
We'll be back.
And then we'll be back to
Crikey.
finish off this battle under the sea.
See.
Down when it's wetter, it's not much better. Under the sea. We'll be back in 5, guys, and we're going to try and make it 5.
Yeah. Boop-a-da-doop-doop-doop-doop.
Look at that. Look at that. Shortest high rollers break ever. We were on it.
We did
so,
it.
we're
like
back
a
into
breeze.
a brand new combat round. Welcome back. Let us continue. Ayla, you are up. You have the giant, distorted Triton creature. There is a school of razorfish nearby. Erin is on the opposite side of the creature. It has just tried to attack you. Nova has been harpooned by one of the marrow. Quill narrowly missed a similar fate.
So the harpoon that came towards me, did it sort of
If
go in past me and then pull back? Okay.
If I got like here,
So if you moved round it, yes.
could I get these? Could I hit both of these two if I?
Oh, in a line with your special hammer? Yes. You would need to move to be very pedantic, you would need to move here, which would provoke an
Okay,
attack of
I
opportunity.
won't bother then. I will hit this dude
Alright,
twice.
you're going to go for the big mutated creature.
Yes, so that is 14.
14 to hit will hit.
Yeah. Okay, and 13, 21 to hit.
21 will hit. Both attacks hit. You slam into it with your hammer.
So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 for both hits on the hammer.
Oh, both. Okay.
So the 27 is both
27 is both
attacks.
hits,
Oh.
and then lightning aura for, depending if you make a save.
It does not take any damage from the lightning.
Oh.
The lightning courses through its body but has no
I rolled a 6 damage.
Also, as both hits connect, blood, not blood, but whatever dark, viscous liquid is leaking out of it. It does not appear to be blood. It seems to be like another substance entirely.
Ichor.
Ichor, an
Only
ichor
in
begins
D&D
leaking
can you
out
say
of it.
ichor.
As you hit it the second time, the ichor seems to almost it begins clenching its giant clawed hands, and the ichor forms into these thick black chains that shoot out all around its body. I need you and Erin to make a dexterity saving throw.
Hellish rebuke. Sounds like a little hellish rebuke to me.
Do I get advantage on this if I'm raging?
No, it's a dexterity saving throw.
18.
18, okay. So you succeed, Erin does not. You watch as these chains, you kind of swim back, kind of rush, as these chains go to grip your arms and legs. They kind of wrap and hit Erin, locking around her wrists and legs, and she is now restrained, whilst she is restrained in this manner.
Damn.
But that is just as a reaction to you reducing it to a certain threshold of hit points. After your turn, Ayla, is there anything else you wish to do? I believe that's pretty much everything except movement. We go to Lucius.
I will just simply fire a Melf's acid arrow at this boy,
Okay.
whilst kind of floating near sentry for that shieldy bonus.
Okay. So you're within 10 feet of
And
Sentry.
with a bonus action, I'll invoke my barrier ring too. You know
Okay,
what?
so +2 AC, and then you're going to cast Melf's Acid
Thank you,
Arrow.
thank you.
Cool. Give me that sweet attack roll against the
Totally lost
marrow.
my thing. Okay, I'm going to do it at level 2, so it is.
You can see that these marrow, they kind of hiss and growl, but they're not making any. It's gone inside because you bounced it out of a dice tray into the case of the iPad.
Unbelievable.
15 plus 7.
That is going to hit.
6, sorry.
That is a hit.
Cool. And then my damage is, I think it's 300. Amazing.
It's not.
3 what?
44. 1, 3, 5, 9.
9 points of acid damage.
Dichromancy.
It will take 2 more at the 2 more d4
Five.
at the start of its turn. 5 to what?
Dichromancy is
Same
the
creature?
same creature, please.
Okay. So more acid you pull from the color of your. Well, actually, that's an interesting question. You normally have
Apparently
your
a little
clothes.
bit of green thread on them.
Well, it's orange.
Orange thread on them.
Bioluminescence.
Could he
around
just
it.
use?
Yeah,
could he
where's,
use
I
anything
haven't
around?
described orange. I said that there was dark red, there was purple,
Also,
and there was a dark
technically,
blue.
what depth are we at?
Not that deep. Why?
Okay, because the red spectrum is the first to go as deeper you go.
Oh, really?
The light penetrating through.
So what happens to it?
It can't penetrate through enough water at a
So
certain
what does
point.
it look like?
It gets greener than bluer as you go.
Oh,
down.
I see, okay.
Blue's the last
Okay.
on the spectrum. So.
Okay.
So I'm like super blue.
So again, I
Quill's
ask you,
just washed out.
what orange are you using? Because
feathers.
Quill is also not wearing his clothes.
I got like orangey feathers,
I
right?
popped
My hair?
a zit
Pretty
on my
brown.
butt, and orangey pus came out, and
Nope.
I used.
Can you
The L on his
Ayla's,
speedos.
my hair.
Ayla's hair.
The L on his speedos.
He didn't describe
Hair.
what colour they were.
How about Mark? I don't use dichromancy.
Okay.
I try to, and I'm like,
But he said you can use Ayla's hair.
well, it's really far away.
What Helios? Helios is gold, though, isn't
Helios
it?
is gold.
technically? Yeah.
Just remember with dichromancy, you have to see the colour that you're pulling from.
I've got yellow.
No. Okay.
I
No.
fumble around looking
So
for
you're
it.
like you
and
like,
then-
but it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should buy him like some paint.
What about the
palettes.
blood floating
Yeah.
about in the air?
Lucius
red.
doesn't think of any of these useful ideas.
That's the thing as well, is that's red, it's not orange.
That's very Lucius though to look around and just be like, huh?
Oh shit. Quill.
I'm so used
Where's
to
the
having my
orange?
own.
Yeah, he like looks, he's like, oh no.
Right, I'm gonna get back closer to 5, 10, 15 to Sentry.
Sentry, protect me!
Yeah, back to Sentry.
Okay.
And I will cast with a bonus action because I can't actually get to Nova. What level can I do? 3rd level, sure.
Healing word.
A healing word.
Aww. Thank
So
you, Tom.
you've moved, bonus action.
3d4. Boom. 3, 5, 8 plus 4, 12 HP.
That's very nice of you.
Awesome.
You still have an action.
An action. I didn't think about that, Mark.
Cantrip.
Cantrip. What cantrip can I do here? Sacred Flame won't work. Oh, it's radiant damage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could Marrow A, or whatever his name is.
Marrow A.
Marrow A.
A natural 1.
What's this dude?
So a total of 2.
Boom. He is taking
2d6 radiant.
2d8.
Oh, is it 8?
Yeah, he's taking 12 Damagios.
Can't believe it.
The Sacred
Should all
Flame.
make a wish. Quill healed.
I know, right?
Look, now
Quill healed and also destroyed the creature currently holding.
Which means I get a double heal.
Whoa,
Yay!
really?
Because
Yeah, 'cause we had Hexblade's curse on it.
Hexblade.
Damn, I didn't
Oh,
know you were
which
so
means
weak.
as well, I can maybe actually
Oh no.
raise a little spectre.
Do you want to do that? Because I think you have to use it as a reaction when a creature dies.
Do you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Okay, you have the stats for it?
Yes. On another
Okay,
page.
can you do.
don't know
Does
what
it have to be a
caused.
medium-sized creature? Because this is large.
I'm just double checking.
Yeah, read it. Because
Where is
you've
it
not used this
gone?
ability yet.
Cool.
It's doing that thing where I'm panicking and
It's
I'm
in
just
features and traits.
features. I'm looking at features and traits.
While you're doing that, I will say
Yeah,
that
talk,
as an
talk.
addendum to my clarification, I guess before the break, being a wizard means that I can now take healing word and things like that as a cleric, which makes them more powerful. So I do have more powerful heals as a result of being a wizard.
Yeah.
Boom!
Yeah.
Min-max in.
Just read it out.
So when I slay a humanoid,
Okay, so
yeah.
when you slay a humanoid, and does it have to be medium? Also, this isn't a
it
humanoid.
just says a humanoid.
Yeah, it's not a humanoid.
Okay.
It's a monstrosity, right?
It is a monstrosity. Okay.
One day,
One day. So,
One day.
Mirror A,
but I do get a little healy.
there is another sort of like howl of rage from the other Merrow as it sees its brood mate or clutch mate killed.
We're just making everything angry.
You are.
I just healed for another 10. Yay.
10 from the Hexblade Curse.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Sentry.
Right, I've got to change what I was going to do then.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up to Nova. Like that one next to the rock, that one there. Cool. I'm gonna cast heroism at level. Yeah, cast heroism on Nova.
Okay.
Oh, what did that do?
So you get temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability
Your
modifier.
spellcasting ability, so 2.
Mine, so 2. You get 2 temporary hit points.
At the start of each round, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like you get 2, and then if they go away, you get another 2 the next round, and
Sweet.
but they don't add up. So you don't get 2, then 4, then 6.
Is-
You have 2, you get hit, and then you get 2 more.
Is that a concentration spell?
Yes,
I lose Shield of Faith.
you do.
Oh.
Sadly, if it's concentration, you lose it on the previous spell.
Oh.
It's okay.
I
It also, I
learned
believe,
that little lip away.
heroism also means that you're like you can't be feared. You're like you get like
Yeah,
some, like
you can't be frightened.
yeah, exactly.
Cool. Spook that
Okay,
over.
so that was your move. Anything else from Sentry?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, Nova.
Well, I just need to change my plan very quickly.
Always delay. Oh, it's a hold on action.
No, it's all right. I was going to do Vampiric Touch on Mero, but he's dead now, so...
Well, he's dead.
So I will cast Eldritch Blasteroo.
On who?
On who?
The...
Okay.
Grotesque fish boy.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
horrible fish boy.
All right. Go for it.
So...
But not the grotesque angry fish boy.
This is the grotesque.
Natural 20!
nice.
On
Nice.
one beam and a 11 on the other beam.
Okay,
I think
so both beams hit. So
Okay.
do the
Oh.
damage for the first beam. So it's 10 plus another d10. Because it's normal damage is d10, so you do 10 max and then plus another one.
8.
18.
So
On
18.
the first bolt.
So that's the first one, and then 9 on the second one.
Wow, so 27 in total. However, as a reaction to you casting a spell on it, can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
You get
Do I
plus
get-
2.
Yeah,
You do get plus 2.
plus 2. Wisdom. 16.
16. Okay, so you feel for a moment as your spell connects with this creature, it creates some sort of connection between the two of you, and you have to very quickly, like, you have to throw the spell out before you can feel some sort of presence trying to affect your mind as you target it with a spell. And it kind of like reaches around, kind of thrashing around in the air, in the water, as the spell connects with it. Yeah.
That me?
Erin is currently restrained and will attempt to break herself free, which requires an escape DC of 13. She pulls herself, the bonds she kind of smashes with the trident as these Icarus bonds kind of break apart, and she basically just breaks those free as her action, and then she will basically just... Can she cast any bonus action spells? No. So she does nothing. She just spends her action breaking free of the bonds.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And then
Break
break
chains.
those chains. The remaining marrow will...
Mary B. That's a spice guard, isn't it? Mary B.
It's just going to swim up to Quill and...
Oh, no,
attack it.
don't. Oh, no.
What?
Just because I make one Spice Girls reference doesn't mean he needs to kill me.
Rihanna's
he
got
will
Spice Girl shoes on today.
try and stab you.
I'm going to protect, please. as a
Disadvantage.
reaction.
Can't protect.
I've got 10 feet.
away.
Have I got 10 feet?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's 10
you
feet with
can, yeah.
Helios.
I'm more than 10 feet away, aren't
No, you're
From
10
Sentry.
feet.
You 10 feet.
Diagonal.
I? Nice.
Well, I rolled a 12 and a 13, so 18 is my lowest.
That'll hit.
Okay, that will hit.
That hits, and then he will attempt to bite you as well, also at disadvantage. Oh, actually, no, it's only against the one attack, I think. So that was a 10, so 16 to hit on the bite.
Yeah, damn it.
Still both hits?
Yeah.
Okay, so from the harpoon, you're going to take
You'll be alright, friend.
14 points of piercing damage,
Fine.
Sure.
and it's a d8 for the bite. Another 8 points of damage, so 14 plus 8, 22.
Does that take you below?
That does. That does take me below half.
Katie, you just did a Tom.
Yeah,
Just did a
she's been
Tom.
waiting for it. The swarms of the razorfish become very agitated once they can sense fresh blood.
Chicken blood.
Water.
Oh, no. Chicken blood is more delicious. Is it
There's a
though?
decapitated corpse over here, though.
There is, but if they can have still alive blood, they prefer it.
All the sweet.
Look,
died
don't
like 12 seconds ago.
play around with my thing. The creature, the kind of malformed Triton, is very heavily injured and seems to be very weak, but just is in a rage and will probably just continue to attack Ayla, because that's who it was attacking last time.
Why didn't I cast shield?
So
think wizards
first attack is a
specifically
20 to hit
cast
Ayla, and then the second one is only a 12.
No.
Okay, so you're going to take 10 points of piercing damage, half to 5.
Okay.
So it just like bites into you,
Slaps.
this malformed mouth, scratching and scratching as best as it can. But you can see it's clearly falling apart. Whatever magic is holding it together is not doing its job. And it's your turn.
Gonna hit it.
The double
Gonna
whammy.
hit it recklessly.
Yeah,
Okay.
girl.
It'll hit 15 plus 8. That'll hit, right?
Hits. Yep.
And
Just wondering what a dispel magic might do. On it.
17 plus 8 will also hit.
Doesn't matter because Ayla can
Yep.
smash it into the ground.
Right, just roll these damages separately for me, please.
Okay. That means something bad's going to happen.
When does it explode?
10 on the hammer for the first one.
So just the total damage. So that's total damage for the first attack.
For the plus make the lightning doesn't do anything. So yeah.
Yeah. So just 10 total, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the first attack.
Okay. You hit into the creature, and you know it's a killing blow. Like you smash its chest in, whatever organs it should have stopped working. It's still alive somehow. It's like thrashing around in death throes. It's still alive.
How do you
Can I look at it and see if it's got anything on it that's or anything on the body of the priestess?
Well, you are making a secondary damage roll, I believe, for your second attack first.
Well, it hit the second
Yep,
attack.
yep. So roll damage.
13.
I'm just checking the ruling on something. Hang on.
checking the ruling on
I'm checking the DC of something.
killing
Oh, okay.
what can't be killed?
What's damage? So how much damage was that, sorry?
13.
13. Still alive. You smash it into again, hoping to like crush it, but just, yeah, like you're crushing parts of its limbs and body.
This thing won't die, guys! It won't die!
Yeah. It's actually quite impressive. What an impressive saving throw I rolled. Okay. We go to Lucius.
I'm going to Chromatic Orb Mirror Boy here.
Sure. You want to finish off the big thing?
I've committed. 6 plus 7, that's 13.
That does not hit the marrow, actually. Whatever fragments of the Court of Shadows armor it's wearing, it hits and impacts on those, and they disperse the magic of the spell.
Well, that's a piece of piss, Mark, isn't it? It's the end of my go.
What damage type were you dealing?
Acid.
Oh, well, it's a shame there's no orange. Where can you pull orange from?
Can I look at the prism gauntlet I've got in my hand?
Ooh,
Is there any orange on that?
gemstones.
Yes, there is.
Stop eating my words.
No, there's orange on that. You can do dichromancy.
Feed to.
Do you do dichromancy
But
to the
only
marrow?
when it hits, right?
No, it's when you cast a spell that deals a damage type.
In which case, I will dichromancy to the other boy.
Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
It's a spell, boy.
So 5?
5? Okay.
Have you added the +2 as well?
Yeah.
You take 7 points of psychic damage, and you are stunned until the end of your next turn.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea.
So as stunned... What the hell? Sugar honey iced tea. Wow.
Shit.
I get it, yeah, I get it now. It took me a second.
It's from Madagascar.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. You are stunned, Chris Trott, so you cannot take actions or reactions. You automatically fail strength and dex saving throws. An attack roll against you have advantage.
I love you, Rhiannon.
Damn.
I lose my
Oh dear.
armor access isn't concentration. I still have.
Oh, Armor of Agathis. That deals damage when you
it's
get
a
hit.
melee.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah.
if they come up, nobody's
It
coming.
was psychic damage. Okay,
I had 5 temp hit points though, which absorbed some of that.
that
though.
did absorb some of it. Okay, so after Lucius, the schools of Ripperfish go. 5,
Oh, they can move
20,
so far.
25, 30, 35, 40, but not far enough!
Oh, just before me, like 10 feet away from me.
5, 10. Ayla, you can make an attack opportunity if you want to
Okay.
use your reaction.
Yes, please.
Hit those
the
fish.
20,
Hit a fish.
Yeah, anger them.
40.
Why sugar honey iced tea?
20.
That hits the fish. However, they are going to take half damage.
This kills the fish.
15 points of damage.
15, halved, 7. Yep. And that's Swarm A. They will just use their action to dash and get next to Quill.
So they're all up in this.
They actually just
Swarm A.
cover you, Quill. They're not even on you, they cover your space. They're just swarming all around you.
Looks like birds on the
Looks like birds back on the menu.
What menu, Lord of the Rings?
Yep. Quill, it's your go. You are surrounded.
So, question about shield, which I should have cast last turn, which is the entire reason I took wizard.
Shield is reaction, yes.
If I move away from a attack of opportunity,
Yes.
is that a reaction as well? And they hit me?
It would be their reaction to make an opportunity.
Their reaction to an attack of opportunity, but I mean, if they hit me, can I use a reaction to do shield?
Yes, reaction is when the trigger occurs, so like when you are hit by an attack.
Right.
It still uses your reaction for this turn.
And would that be an action on my turn, is what I mean?
No, it's a reaction.
Cool.
You imagine this, right? You have one reaction for a whole turn of combat. How that reaction gets triggered is dependent on the trigger.
Right.
If it's from an opportunity attack, whether it's from a normal attack, whether it's from, an ally attacking you, it doesn't matter.
Sure. Well, I'm going to do a Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
Because I'm the only person I really want to heal.
Remember, now this is where it does get tricky. It's still your turn. You can't cast a spell of spell slots. You can't cast 2 of them in a turn.
Right, but at the end of my turn, I'm free to do reactions if he decides to attack me.
Yes.
Sure, okay, that makes sense.
I think that's how it works. Somebody I'm sure who knows...
Or is it a spell per round?
It's like, I think it might be like, maybe it's actually, no, I think you're okay with shield, because I think the ruling for magic is when you cast a spell with a casting time of a bonus action, the only other spell you can cast that turn is a cantrip. So I think you can do it in this round, if you wanted to try and move away and cast a reaction. But cast Cure Wounds.
I'll cast Cure Wounds. So 3d8. Oh, that's
that was
garbage
shit.
heal. 4, 5 plus 4.
9.
9. On
still below
3d8
half?
plus 4. 9. I think that pushes me back up. 28 out of 41. So yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Over half. So I guess
It's like the fish are swarming towards you, and you're like healing your wound, like any open wounds you have.
all the blood.
Begin, yeah.
It's gone. Get out of here. And then, man,
What do you want to do?
that's the noise I
Very
make.
flustered.
Actually, I don't have a club or quarterstaff, do I?
Nope.
Nope.
So I can't do
What do you do?
I'm gonna stay there. I'm just gonna stay in his face.
Okay.
I'm in his face.
I'm in your face.
Yeah, that's all I'll do because I can't do any actions
Okay.
or bonus actions. I mean,
Okay. So that's
probably
your go.
can, but
Sentry.
Cool. I'm going to Cure Wounds Quill. I'm going to move up on
You're
our
just
Quilly
full
boy.
support.
I'm
Like,
full
you've not
support.
made an attack.
I'm doing what Helios said I should
You mean you
do.
can still attack stuff?
But he'll get mad at me.
He won't. He won't get mad at you.
Got 2d8 plus
You're
2.
next to him, but officially
Yeah.
4, 5, 7 for you, buddy.
4, 5, 7.
7.
Yeah,
9.
because I got plus 2.
It's 7
7
HP.
altogether.
Oh, I
Seven
see. I thought
altogether.
you rolled a 4 and then a 5. I see. Sure. TY, PM,
All right.
LOL.
You done?
Why the face?
Yes.
Nova.
I'm just really.
Kim's
wondering-
making the face of like, oh.
I don't, because
Oh.
my thought process is: would dispel magic kill the unholy zombie? But then I also don't want to waste an entire round trying to find out. So it's one of those things. It's one of those moments. And Mark's doing his like faces.
Mr. Neutral Face, actually. He's really trying to poker it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we just wasted 2 turns healing me so I don't get nommed. So
And-
go ahead.
How messed up is Marrow Boy looking? Nothing
Oh, the marrow.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not particularly.
particularly bad.
He's got an arm off.
Oh, he's got an arm off.
He does not have an armor.
Oh.
Okay. Quill's probably looking quite crunchy.
I look great right now. From a food standpoint.
You gotta decide. Well, that's it. You're wasting your turn.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the Marrow.
Okay, go for it.
Dice.
Make an attack roll.
18 plus 7.
Hits.
19 plus 7.
Hits.
Nice.
Boom.
8 on one. And 1 on the other, so 9 points of damage.
2 blasts slam into the marrow. It just kind of hisses in this kind of like rippling of its throat muscles and neck. This kind of as it turns and looks at you. Nothing too serious.
I've lost one of my blue dice.
Erin, sensing this thing is, what will she do? I think she will just try to. She will try to cast Magic Missile. She summons 3 watery tridents.
Ooh.
6,
Very fancy.
9,
Ooh.
12 points of damage to the great undead monstrosity. Let's see if it can survive. It does. Oh my god, this thing's saving throws. So it is impaled by these 3 watery tridents. And just begins swiping its arms around.
Nice.
Crikey.
It's got crunch ribs.
The Marrow,
That's
on his
definitely
turn,
an arm off.
sensing danger.
Danger. Gives up. Surrenders.
French
Oh.
marrow.
Out of interest, is he below half hit points?
No, not yet. I am tracking. He will attempt to hit Quill again.
Better not. Or else.
You got shield up.
We'll see what it does first.
Well, that is going to be a 21.
Yeah, I'm going to shield that one.
What does that
No.
take your AC to?
Puts me to 21. Ignore it.
So I still hit.
I let it happen.
No.
You can have this one for free.
Yeah. That's
lift my
15
chin up
points
to
of
him.
damage,
Hit here.
and then its bite.
15.
15. The bite is a 16 to hit.
Yeah, I shield that one.
So you throw a shielded ward up as it blocks the creature's bite as it's trying to bite into your birdie flesh.
20 out of 41. That's half, isn't it? Oof.
Oof.
Luckily, you get to go before the swarms. So.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you don't. The swarm actually goes next turn.
No.
The dark one will attempt to hit Ayla again with its meager attacks. So the first one is a 18 to hit,
Yep.
and then the second one is a 25 to hit.
Yep.
You're gonna take 12, so half to 6, and then 9, half to 4.
So 10.
10. Just trying to rip you apart, and it's as its body is basically just falling apart from all the damage you're dealing to it. Ayla, you'll go.
Can I hope it doesn't make its saving throw this time?
It's a set amount depending
damn
on
it.
like damage it takes and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah. Reckless.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot I had advantage. Shit.
Yeah.
That was trash though. I think it'll still hit.
Yeah, it's very easy to hit.
14.
This thing. Hits.
He's a big boy.
And
Well, big girl.
17 plus 8.
Hits.
That'll hit.
Just let me know if they're crits.
Right.
Okay.
I feel
No.
like a crit would be an insta-kill.
Might be.
Might be.
Might
Might
just
not.
wake it back up again.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, damage rolls separately, please, because I got to do its fortitude.
9 on the first one.
So 9 damage.
Yep.
Yep, succeeds. Like you go to destroy, you crush part of its skull, continues fighting.
Crush skull, crush
God.
ribs.
Like half its face is
16
flattened.
on the second one.
16. 21.
Come on!
That's gonna kill it. So, you like crush half of its face, and it's just like reaching out. What? Like, how does this go down? Consider your
I think she's just like, why won't you die?
It's just like, so you kind of like throw it into the coral house, you kind of smack it into the coral house, jet yourself forward and just keep slamming it. The coral breaks and shatters inwards as it just crumples on top of the giant creature.
Nice.
I mean, if you don't see it,
do it.
if you don't see it die, though, it's still alive. That's how films work, right?
Yeah.
Lucius.
Don't say that.
Is
Sit and watch
done.
Lucius is stunned. Oh, Quilly boy!
Oh no.
2 swarms of ripperfish filling your space. Your AC is still
16.
no. You cast shield. It lasts until the end of your next turn.
21, boy.
Very fucking good job. It's a 15 and a 10 to hit. Just as a note, while these things are at full health, 46 damage.
Ooh, well, one of them isn't full health.
Yeah, well, I
Sorry,
think
no, as long as it's above half.
Oh, right.
Not like full health, but yeah. So these things, the shield is just keeping these fish out of reach as they're just like
it's just in the middle of it, like,
All around me.
yeah, you're like
Mate, you just see their little
holding them at
teeth.
bay.
Yeah, he's whacking away at the shield on one side. They're biting the other one.
Yep.
Stuck in the middle with Quill.
Now it's Quill's go.
I'm gonna try and get her to dolphin me
didn't
out
I
of
have
here.
on my turn? Damn it.
You can still move if you want to move.
Can I?
'cause yeah. You,
So the shield disappears, I suppose.
yeah. At the end of your turn, yes.
Man, I'm...
So keep in mind, at the end of your turn, Tom, so any opportunity attacks, if you move now, they'll be trying to hit your higher AC, because you still have the shield active.
Right. But I can cast it as a reaction after this turn, right?
You can, yes. Well, technically, you get your reaction back at the start of your turn, so...
I am going to... Yeah, I'm going to do the same heal I did last time, heal wounds. I just need to...
Heal.
Just desperately like,
Delicious spell slots, use them.
There is a disengage option.
Yeah, you can also just spend a full action to move away without provoking an opportunity.
I think I'd go 15 feet, they go
You would.
45.
Yes.
And non-boy has a harpoon.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Also, these fish, you've noticed that they've not attacked any living creature as long as it's above half its health. Whereas as long as it's basically not bleeding, they're just like, oh, nah, you're probably more trouble than you're worth. I'm going to go eat the dead bodies, yeah.
Yeah.
So as long as Cor can heal himself and you can deal with his marrow, you might be okay.
Well, I'm going to do this heal at a lower level anyway, level 1.
Okay, D8.
Boom. 1d8 plus 4. Awesome. 6.
Okay, 6 HP. That's your action. Anything else? If not, Sentry. Think about probably what you want to do anyway.
Yeah.
Bonus action. Spiritual weapon. Oh no, I've already cast a spell. Hide. I'm going to take a hide action.
Can't. You're not a rogue.
I'm gonna dip under the dust. I'm gonna kick up some dust and sort of hide in that.
Or not
Sentry.
this-
Okay, I'm going to move up on the marrow then, and I'm going to stab it with my little swordy sword.
Okay. You kind of jet forward.
And I like to divine smite with it as well.
Yeah. Or you decide that when you hit.
Yar yar.
Okay. So
it's
attack roll.
Above half.
Attack roll.
So it should be the exact same attack bonus as your axe. Basically.
17 plus 7.
Hits easily.
The d6 plus 4. So that's 5, that's 9.
So and then you want to divine
And then
smite
divine smite plus.
at first level.
First level.
So 2d8s.
2d8 plus 4.
No plus 4. Just 2d8 for divine smite.
So 6 for the first one, and 2 for the second one.
So 9 plus 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9, 18, 17.
That was such a
In
blank.
my brain.
With my extra attack and do
Yeah,
it again.
yeah, absolutely.
Woo, do I need
So
to-
the first blow, you strike a deadly blow against this thing. You
Nice.
tear out part of its flesh. Second attack.
I don't think you can divine smite again though.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you can if you have spell slots. Paladins
yeah.
are crazy.
Yeah.
Because they can spend multiple spells.
I have
Yeah,
one
'cause
more
they're
spell
not
slot
casting a
left.
spell. They're spending the spell slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll spend the other spell slots. So
Okay, so did you hit?
7 plus 7,
14
14.
is not enough to hit this creature, actually. So the second attack does not hit.
Okie dokie.
It's the scraps of Court of Shadows armor it's wearing deflects the blow.
Too powerful.
Okay. After Sentry, Nova.
Can I cast Chill Touch on the marrow?
Sure.
Just thought I'd try something a bit different.
Okay. Has it got range?
120
Lovely.
Foot.
Go for it. Spell
Touch is
attack.
120 foot.
cocked.
It summons like it's not cocked. It just hit the side.
Well,
Was it actually on its side?
between
Oh,
a 2
okay.
and a
It looked
20.
like it was
so
flat.
do you want to
Okay.
give me the 20?
No,
I'll go the 20.
No, roll it again. I thought it was like it landed
That's a
flat on the side.
14.
To hit total?
Yeah.
Not enough. It's AC 15. Was it? Did you add your bonus?
That was a +7, yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
7 + 7, 14.
There you go. So no, you reach out with a ghostly hand, but it definitely whips itself to the side, focusing on its target, Quill. Mm-hmm. Erin will jet forward. She's got like fucking 30 feet. And then she will cast a spell. She will cast Ice Knife. Nope, that will hit allies. She will cast. She will cast a second level magic missile, something more tridents.
My face
4.
is glitching on the stream. It's cool.
8, 9,
Oh yeah, there's like
13.
an extra copy
Like a
of your
fucking
face.
migraine.
Oh,
Sure.
it is a strange issue. The 3, she summons 4 watery tridents and sends them rushing towards the marrow. They impale his body and pin him to the ground dead.
Nice.
NPC stills a kill, but never mind.
That's a good shot.
So after Erin, it would be... We go back up to the top. So the swarm, are you still below half hit points?
No.
You're not?
No.
They disperse and go and feed on the now dead bodies of the marrows.
Yeah. Oh.
Sweet, sweet,
So
sweet.
you are out of initiative.
God, that was close.
Is everybody okay? As I swim down.
Been better. Almost was fish food then, but
Erin just silently goes back to where the other creature was.
those were the things I saw in the vision. So there might be more of them, but I don't
How
know.
many did you see?
What of the marrow?
Yeah. No, I thought you saw big eel.
Yeah, they have like eel tails. Yeah, that was, it was. You saw a marrow in your vision. There was like 4 of the marrow in your vision.
Can I swim over to the priester? Oh, God, it's gonna take ages. But yeah, can I?
You're out of initiative now.
Can I
The reason I wanted you to be in initiative is because I was tracking things like
Where?
the ritual going on and stuff like that.
Sure.
Can I look for like any amulets or the Zarkira stuff?
So
Luminary.
yeah, make an investigation check on the body of the priestess.
Investigation. 10.
Okay. The only thing you really find of value on the priestess is she is holding like what looks to be a salvaged piece of metal with a emblem of Zarkira attached to the top of it.
Can I look at the creature thing, whatever that was, and just see
Yeah,
if
well,
I
when
can
you
figure out
when
what
you
it
swim
is?
into the kind of collapsed building that you had smashed it against you can see Erin is kind of like looking at this thing, and she's just, her kind of pink hair is kind of like trailing behind her body, and she's just kind of got her eyes closed and seems to be whispering some sort of prayer as she looks at the body. And yeah, you start looking over it. What are you looking for in particular? Like, what do you want to know?
I don't know, like what kinds of different creatures it was made out of, because it's clearly made out of different things.
It wasn't made of different
Was it
things.
not?
No, that was the miniature, like the miniature I used here. But the actual creature you fought was the body of a Triton that had been really horribly warped by magic. Its limbs had been extended and, strengthened. Its size had been like blown out of proportion, so its limbs were like awkward shapes and sizes. Any kind of like mutations to the face, it was still clearly once a person, but it's been horribly warped by magic, for sure.
Can I cast detect magic or start casting detect magic?
Do you want to do it as a ritual? Or are you casting it as a spell slot?
As a ritual, we got
Okay,
10 minutes.
so you take 10
right?
minutes, yeah, you can do that. While Nova's doing that, does anybody else want to do anything differently? Sentry,
I think,
Lucius, Quill?
Yeah, I'll go up towards where like Ayla and they are looking at like the purple light thing.
But the purple light, there is no more purple light now.
Yeah,
Oh, I
presumably
see.
that's what summoned the.
So is this like this is a house?
Yeah, it's
that
like a little
this-
house. Yeah, it's like a small house. Looking inside, Quill, when you enter, you don't see any purple lights, but while Ayla is looking at the body and Erin is kind of like quietly praying, you do see that this room was clearly being used for some sort of ritual. There are arcane sigils carved into the coral floor. You can see that there are the remnants of like wax-sealed containers, like almost like little watertight bottles. Maybe like traces of like powder still kind of glistening in the water, floating around. You can see that there is a shell piece, like a piece of shell. Actually, no, it'd be metal. It's almost like a piece of metal ripped from something, like a big flat sheet of metal, and inscribed in a language you don't understand is some like writings.
Stuff. The sigil itself, do I recognize that as what we saw in?
The arcane runes on the ground or on the staff?
Well, the staff I recognize as a.
Yeah, you recognize it as Zarkira's emblem, yeah.
But the arcane runes on the ground, yeah.
I mean, you can make an Arcana check for me, seeing as you are a god, a servant of the god of magic.
Cool. 16.
16. Looking at these sigils, looking at the setup of the ritual, you are very confident in the knowledge that you've learned from from Hesper and your understanding of magic. Necromancy was being performed here, but not just normal necromancy. This wasn't just a normal undead creature. This has been strengthened, it has been enhanced, made stronger, made faster, given unusual abilities. Quite powerful necromancy took place here. And it is beyond anything you've seen on Aerois or have heard of on Aerois before.
Huh. Okay. Do I have
Nova,
any-
your detect magic. You see very faint fading traces on the sigil. So whatever magic rituals in the circle, there was magic cast here and now it's kind of dissipating. You kind of sense that the magic is leaking away. The emblem of Zarkira is magical. It is a magical art item. You also sense that there is... no, it's got like a range of 60 feet. You wouldn't sense that. It's too far away. Yeah, that's probably about it.
Start running in circles.
Can I lift the fog of water? No. Can I follow Quill?
The body of the creature obviously is
Yeah.
magical as well.
And does that tell me? Wait.
Tells you the school. Necromancy on the ritual.
Yeah.
The emblem, I guess, is abjuration magic. And then the body is necromancy as well.
Damn it was Elois.
Down here?
I knew it.
Abjuration.
Follows us everywhere. Can I follow Quill into the house? And I guess if I see the metal with the inscription on it, can I take that? Like, I guess. Like, because I can comprehend languages, but that's another ritual, so I don't.
Also, comprehend languages, I believe, is spoken.
No, actually.
Does it say that you can read any written?
You can also understand any written language that you see.
It was your previous.
You
it was your
yeah.
rune site, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting confused with. Yeah. Okay.
You
So
must
yeah,
be
you can
touching
cast.
it, so.
Okay. Yeah, you can start casting that as well. Well, Sentry. Sentry and Lucius. What are you guys doing?
I think Sentry will probably wander over to this house here and just sort of have a look around. I
Okay.
imagine she's
You want
probably
to
a
just
little
start
bit
investigating the other houses?
Yeah, I think she's probably like disturbed and upset by what she's seen, all these weird creatures and stuff being.
Okay. So you begin kind of gently swimming your way
having a
over
look
there.
around, yeah.
Lucius?
I realise I'm on my own and start swimming.
You got jellyfish? A storm cloud?
Oh yeah, you got
Oh,
a
storm
storm
cloud.
I'm
cloud.
assuming you are not next to it.
I'll back up Sentry because she's on
Okay.
her own.
So you go with Sentry. Okay. Well, Sentry and Lucius. Yeah, you begin looking into
Hello.
these other houses.
Hello.
It's fun, right?
I guess a little
Start
bit.
spinning upside down.
That's very nice.
It is.
In his pants.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
Tiny, tiny pants. These little silken speedos.
Embroidered L, glistening.
Is it bejeweled?
Oh, I wish. Doesn't do well in the wash.
Sentry, as you're actively looking, can you make an investigation check for me?
Oh, that's a -1. That's a 7 on that one.
7. I mean, you look around the house, you can, unfortunately, as you look in, there are a couple of, like, floating limbs, again, you can see. Maybe a couple of, like, Triton fingers or, like, maybe, like, a foot. You can see that the house has been clearly ransacked. Anything of value has been stripped and taken away. Things like furniture. Like, there's no beds. Triton don't need beds underwater. But there are, like, nets with, like, you know, probably, like, you can see, like, smashed pottery, kind of, like, thick eel skin bags that would have once contained, you know, perhaps jewelry or ornaments, all been ransacked. Yeah, just this place looks like it's been trashed and raided, almost. But you do notice that there are definitely signs of a trail, like bodies being dragged, signs of like things being dropped, like the sand has been disturbed, but also like in the water you can see trails of like beads that have been dropped from a necklace or something like that. There's clearly a trail that seems to be leading away from the village.
Okay.
This is so tragic.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad.
Court of Shadows.
Oh, you made a smile towards me and I thought you were about to say, and then the runes explode.
No. So Nova, you finished casting Comprehend Languages. The sheet of metal is, only some of it is actually decipherable as written language. The rest of it appears to be sort of more arcane sigils, to be copied perhaps, you don't know. But it seems to dictate parts of a ritual, not enough that you could replicate it, or probably not enough that you could give it to, it wouldn't be of value to anybody else, but it is clearly partial instructions from somebody called Shantani, Siren of Zarkira.
That's smoking gun if I ever seen it.
And it is,
Signature.
instructions on an experiment.
Patent.
A ritual to be tested outside of the fortress.
Fortress, eh?
And basically the last bit seems to be return to the depths, find me in the entrance and tell me the results.
Okay.
Deeper.
We're going deeper underwater.
I was literally about to do that.
There's too much panic in this town.
Erin finishes her little prayer and kind of opens her eyes. Sorry, are you all right? That ended up being a bit hairier than we expected, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, we have seen these necromancy sigils. I guess that's also not something the Sahagin have ever done before.
No. No. There's been a few. We have Tritons who learn magic. You'd call wizards, I guess, and sorcerers and the things like that. We have people who study magic, but I mean, the Sahagin, maybe they've had like primal magic. I've heard of like some Sahagin can conjure sharks and cause the ground to, attack you or try and entangle you and that sort of thing. They've had like a natural magic, but not anything like this. Nothing like that can create these kind of rituals or create like this kind of undead or whatever that was, whatever they did to my people.
Did that body look like it had been like killed and then resurrected? Yeah.
Very much so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were wounds on it, but the magic had warped it so much that, I mean, it was hard to tell. But yeah, there's no way that...
Does Quill recognize it as the person that got dragged in his vision?
I think there's enough there that you would recognize it as that person, yeah. Yeah, the same kind of hair, the kind of this pale blue, coral blue hair, just like tattered remnants of it on like the back of this creature's skull. The same kind of coloured eyes. Oh no, the eyes turn black, but yeah, just enough to be like familiar. Maybe like a piece of jewelry, just like a single like silvery kind of seashell.
Yeah, a name tag. Damn it, should have known. Hello, my name is.
Can I use the messenger rings and just let the guys know that there's more drag marks behind the back of this house here?
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing as well, Quill, sorry, with your passive perception, because I forget you've got a crazy passive perception.
How can you forget? It's my trait.
You would find that inside the house, well, first of all, Erin will basically tell you that this belonged to the captain, or the captain of the guard that would have like looked after this settlement. Sure. But Quill, you notice that buried in the sand, there is a strongbox, and it seems to be the only thing in this place that hasn't been taken. Like everything else has been ransacked, torn apart, but it looks like whoever came here missed this strongbox.
Can I open that?
Well, you can swim over to it and begin pulling it up, and you can see it looks like a man-made, like land-made metal lockbox, maybe traded from like an orc or something before. But you pull it up, it's locked. Like you can see that there is a kind of like thick, not necessarily a padlock, but there's like a combination system on it.
While he's looking at that, can I speak to Erin, but with the messenger ring activated so everyone can hear it? Like, is that doable?
No. The messenger rings allow you telepathic communication with each other. Okay. They don't allow you to telepathically communicate with other creatures. You can talk to Erin out loud.
Well, could she do both at the same time?
Yeah, you could just say to Erin and then be like, I've just said this to Erin telepathically, and then you can repeat what she says. So
can I show her the metal tile and the staff with the emblem on it?
Yep.
And just be like, this is definitely the work of Zarkira. This is her emblem, and I've just translated this tile, and it talks of a ritual, an experiment, which I think we just saw the results of. It mentions Shantani, a siren of Zarkira.
She's quiet for a long time.
Could that be the priestess you were talking about, the Sahagin?
Yeah, it sounds about right. Sounds like a Sahagin name, that's for sure.
Apparently there's a fortress in the depths. The instructions on this tablet are to take the results to the fortress.
Problem is the depths it's like a labyrinth of caves down there. You know, it's a deep ravine and there's a whole network and passage of caves. I mean, we've had scouts try to map it before, but we know that the Sahagin try and ambush people in there, and we know that there are, the Sahagin lay ambushes and they have all sorts of creatures and sharks down there as well. It's dangerous. If we don't have a better idea of where exactly this fortress is, then it's going to be tricky. We're probably going to have to fight more of those Sahagin, or those Mero as well. They've got loads of those as slaves, it seems.
There's probably more of these, and I gesture towards the horrible dead floaty thing.
Bloody hope not. But yeah, you're probably right. It sounds like, we need to get to the bottom of this. Whatever they're doing to my people, I want to stop it. But we need to know we need to figure out where this fortress is. If we just go bumbling into those caves, I think it's going to be rough. We're going to have to fight our way through a lot of Sahorgan to get there.
So you said the Mero are slaves to the Sahorgan right now?
That's what it appears to be, yeah. Like, we've heard of them doing it before. The Mero aren't particularly smart, and ever since the Sahorgan have gotten smarter, they've basically put them to work as warriors.
It could be magically tamed, so we might be able to break that connection somehow.
Maybe.
We could follow the drag marks.
Could be. I'm guessing that the drag marks are just going to take us to the edge of the depths, and then we're going to be kind of screwed. Unfortunately, tracking stuff underwater, it's not the easiest thing to do in the world. You need to be a pretty expert tracker, and I'm unfortunately not one. So we need more information. I wish if we'd caught the priestess alive, or if the captain had still been alive, maybe he would have had more information, but I just don't know. I don't know what to do.
But
what's happening?
Hi.
You can catch each other all up.
Yeah. Well, if they're doing necromancy spells, that would include a lot of blood. How much do you think the fish around here would be able to sense that?
Maybe. The Ripper schools, yeah, they're pretty much drawn to it. They're greedy little bastards, so we could try and use those to try and lure us to wherever there are fresh bodies.
I mean, there's nets all over this place. We might
Worth
be able
a try.
I can ask them.
You can ask them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can ask them as well.
Nice.
I can't understand them back, but I can definitely give them basic instructions.
We could try.
When they get into a feeding frenzy, I can't stop them, but
Yeah.
No, true. But would
Otherwise,
they?
you could utilize your ability when we're close to the labyrinth and see who or what's been down where.
Yeah. And they'll at least lead us to the right place, I guess. Hopefully.
What about you, Ayla, was it? You alright?
Yeah, I'm not sure how else to track these things. I mean, I can track things in the forest, but it's kind of literally out of my depth here, so...
Good joke, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit of Triton humour there.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. You can see she's still putting on a bit of a brave face, but there is like a bit of a slight crack of a grin. All right, well, I'll round up some of the razorfish, maybe, and then perhaps me and Guardian here can try and speak to them and convince them to help us. All right, well, let's get to that.
I can actually cast it as well, speak with animals.
Oh, brilliant.
All right.
Depends how intelligent they are.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is you guys can actually understand them back. Erin can't. She can just basically tell them what to do. And
Feast.
Yeah.
Blood.
Blood. Blood, yum.
Okay, so Erin will basically go and gather some nets, and she basically like nets a bunch of these razorfish together into like, and she has like it on a, not like a lead, but like she can hold the net so the
like
fish can't get her. Yeah, it's like a little balloon of these razorfish and kind of swims back with it, and they're all kind of like wriggling and trying to get free.
Okay, want to give it a go?
Yeah, what should I ask them? What do you reckon?
I have to look up how smart these fish are now.
Ask them if
Pretty dumb.
Ask them if they can sense any blood nearby, and if they'd lead us.
But we're like...
Can they sense any blood nearby?
I'm cured.
And also, hello.
Speak with animals. You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whether they can perceive or perceived in the past day.
Boom.
You may be able to persuade a beast to perform a small favour for you at the GM's discretion. Okay.
If we feed you the bird.
Right, okay. So you cast the spell, spell slot, and then you say what?
I say, hello, I don't know if you'd be able to help us. Okay.
Hello!
Hello!
Let us free! Free us!
We'll let you free in a second. I just need
Free
your
us
help.
now!
We just need your help.
We
really
must
quick.
escape!
Have you seen, do you sense any blood that's been passed here recently?
Blood! So much blood! There was much blood here. Oh no, we could not taste it all. Something went away.
Where
We
did it
want
go?
food! Give us food! We are hungry!
Where did
Let
it
us
go?
feast upon the dead.
Where did the blood trail go?
Many places.
Many places.
Lots of it, much of it has gone into the deeps. But there was more. That one, and they're kind of like swimming towards Quill. Like he has bled recently. Oh, no. Let us feed upon him.
If he's coming towards me, I'll use my Dusk Willow ring to do speak with animals, so it doesn't cost a spell slot.
Let us eat upon the bird.
Not mine. You don't want mine.
The bird speaks.
It does.
Hungry, give us your flesh.
In the depths.
We want your blood.
In the depths. Lots of blood in the depths. If you take us there, then we'll give you all the blood you need down there.
There are many bodies. They took many of the Tritons there. Took many of the Tritons. They fend us. They harm us. They capture us in nets and take us away.
Could
The Sahorgan are there.
Can you show
Dangerous.
us the way?
The Sahorgan are dangerous. We cannot go there. It is deep and cold, and there are many sharks, great sharks that will feast upon us.
We will make the Sahorgan bleed.
And they begin talking with each other because there are a swarm of them, and they're like,
What's the outward perception of this?
What's that?
What's the outward perception of this? Me and Sentry.
You can understand them. Well, like you're speaking normally, and then these things are just wriggling in your direction. You're kind of like, it's not
Sentry's
telepathic.
the only
but
one who can understand them at the moment.
no, Quill's also cast.
Oh, did you cast it as well?
I've cast it as well, yeah, with my Dusk Willow.
So yeah, like they begin talking amongst themselves, and some of the fish are like, no, it is too risky. We must be free. They should let us go, and then we will feast on them. No. They are scary. Look, that they've killed the Sahorgan. But we are hungry. Yes, we are hungry, and they're kind of speaking all in unison, but they're arguing with each other. So if you want to convince them, it's probably a persuasion check or intimidate. You can either force them to do what you want with intimidate, or you can ask them nicely and make a bargain.
I was going for the approach of
bargaining.
There's going to be tons of blood there, and we can give you more.
Is it the one?
Persuasion.
Is it the swarm that I hit?
Some of them are from that swarm. I think like Erin just gathered up a
She
bunch
killed
of
Lenny.
Can I just walk up near them?
Not Lenny!
With my hammer.
Yeah, they are dumb fish. Like,
On the
I
off
don't
chance
know
they
if they
remember.
100% are like, they understand subtle intimidation.
They won't remember it anyway.
No.
They haven't got that memory.
5-second memory.
Exactly.
So
They don't remember why I asked them. Persuasion.
Yeah.
let us free, and they're like pulling at the net and stuff.
I guess
Yeah.
both
You can make persuasion.
Oh, Tom Hazel.
one.
They're
12 for me.
You're so tasty.
They really like my blood.
You've been rolling terribly recently.
I have.
I got a
yeah.
12.
Okay, they were like, we will take you to where they took the Tritons, but then you must free us.
Okay.
You must then release
Okay,
us.
Perfect.
Yeah,
We can do
brilliant.
that.
You must then release.
All right, and they begin swimming, and like Erin's like, whoa, like a dog on a leash, like a chain chomp. She's like, whoa, as these like swarm of like razorfish are like spinning out of control,
Oh my
dragging
God.
and pulling.
When we
them away.
get there, the moment someone sees us,
Does it-
release them.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You guys basically have a swarm of razorfish now. They're not charmed by you, but if you can convince them to
They're
help,
not bleeding, and they will be.
yeah, sure,
Does that count as a short rest? The time that we've been doing all of this.
sure. You
Nice.
can have a short rest, spend some hit dice if you want.
Sweet.
Short rest.
No point.
Plus
For
2.
me.
No, go. You need a sweet long rest, boy.
I need
I
some
don't-
spell slots.
You need some to
Oh,
use
yeah, I
your
need spell
cantrips
slots.
more. is
I'm
what
guessing
you
my
need to do.
temp HP are
I know you
gone
don't get
now.
dichromancy, but now you're 5th level. Your cantrips do extra damage.
My temp HP are gone now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Arcane
the cantrips are pretty
recovery.
good. Yep.
So once per short rest, expended spell slots up to a combined level of 1. So what does that mean?
So you get a 1st level spell slot back.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Cool. That's useful.
Yeah.
Got my halfway
Um,
curse back.
Nice. I need spell
I'll
slots.
do a bit of magic font.
That's the Horgan's
sorcery
humanoids.
point.
Let's find out.
I just.
Yes.
Yay! Just want a spectre.
Yeah,
Want a little
I know you do.
spectre
Well, it's not really a spectre for you. It's like a hologram.
Where's Smeek?
I fucking keep forgetting about Smeek, but he's there. He's just like he's a ghost. He can't really do fuck all. So he's just
No,
like.
I just like.
He's just got a running
It's just nice knowing where
I
he is.
really
He's just,
expected.
is he just swimming alongside
I
us?
think he's just like wandering around. Like he's kind of ignored by everything, and so he's like been playing in the plants and the coral houses.
Aw.
He probably has like a Triton hand that he's like carrying around.
Smeek, put it down.
He's
Put it down.
like holding
Put it
it
down.
like he's holding hands with it.
Down. No.
It just floats through him because he's a ghost.
Can you
We
hold
tried to
them?
eat it.
Yeah, it looked like he was holding it for a brief period. He can he can basically hold very small objects.
Can
He's
I
like a little
mage
poltergeist.
He's a mage hand.
He's basically like a little mage
Unseen
hand.
servant.
Yeah, he's like he can hold like little tiny things.
Can I take the metal tile? How big is it? This metal sheet of crap. Okay, and the Zarkira emblem on the staff.
So Kira emblem is like
Sorry, we're boring you.
No, I'm just tired. It's like maybe like an oversized gold coin, so like a tea plate or a tea saucer size.
Can I take them with me?
Yeah, sure.
Warm it up, put it on Sentry's face.
Sure.
Lovely.
So you take the symbol of Zarkira and the evil necromantic ritual tablet. Sentry, Helios just says, "Your friend should be careful. I do not know why she would wish to take such things, but I
Helios
recognize
really
the
does
symbol
not
of my
like you.
enemy when I see it. You should be careful of her, Sentry."
I'll just messenger ring to Nova and just say, Helios doesn't like that being around. Just FYI.
So loudly, I'm going to say, I just think we should take these with us as proof that Zarkira is here.
That's a good idea.
Or at least servants of Zarkira are around.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good idea.
Yep. Doesn't say anything. Sure. That's why you say you're taking them.
Nova is has no. She is a book that can be read. Like, come on, she's not evil.
Helios doesn't know that.
Or are you
Helios is a-
Brookstone?
Looks pretty evil
I
to
am
us.
the Brookstone. Rips off my
Knew it.
face. I am Starbane.
I believe that the famous quote is, "The road to hell is paved with good intentions," I believe.
Ooh.
People can stop me. I'm
Yeah,
just putting that out
absolutely.
there.
Absolutely.
You know.
I don't
Helios
care
can't.
enough.
Helios is a fucking glowing shield.
No, on this path.
Hey, this lockbox.
Ayla could
Yeah,
not
what
care
you wanna do?
less what Helios thinks.
Oh, what's that?
I found it in this house. Are we?
Oh, that's probably the captain's.
You tried to
Ah,
open it?
it looks like the Sahorgan missed it.
Are you okay with us?
I mean,
Please
if
open
there's,
it up.
I mean, it might be that there's something in there that can help us. Yeah, absolutely.
Baroness, is
Yes?
opening this lockbox going to damage the goods inside because we're underwater?
Potentially. Depends on what's inside. I mean, we are Triton. We live underwater, so whatever he's
Is
got
that
in
a
there.
Triton box?
Yeah, this case. doesn't
It's
look-
not, but I imagine it's the captain's, so I imagine whatever he's put in there, he did it down here.
Okay,
Probably something he
it's
bought.
just a worry.
No, I mean it might be. I can't tell you. It might be a lander's box, but it might also be full of the captain's stuff. I don't know.
Well, it's worth trying to open it if anyone wants to.
I mean, I don't particularly fancy an hour-long swim up to the surface just to open up a box if
No.
it's, you know,
I was
okay.
Do you know
Merely
what the
worrying
combo
about its
is? Do you know when his
contents.
birthday was, maybe? Any significant
sorry.
numbers?
What is the-
I can try and force it open.
I
but,
can try and hit it.
I mean, I wouldn't hit it. Maybe just try
The
and, like,
lock.
you know,
Oh, yeah, I could
it's
do
like
that.
a combo lock.
Okay, I'll try and...
Just like, yeah, give me a
that.
strength check.
Oh, God. Not raging. Oh, no, that was trash. 10.
10.
Yeah, 10.
You're like, you just can't get purchase enough, especially underwater. Like, you can't get like a good grip on it to like force it open. If you had something like a crowbar, maybe it would be easier.
Does anyone have
Oh, wait.
a crowbar?
I mean,
I do.
Do I have a
Why
crowbar?
do you have a crowbar?
It's in the adventurer's kit or whatever kit it is that I started.
I have an
with.
iron
Oh.
pot.
Can I have the crowbar? And I'll try
Put it
again.
on your
with
head.
crowbar.
You have advantage, right? You've got the crowbar.
AC.
And the
Have the
DC is
crowbar.
lower.
18.
Yeah, that's enough. You kind of wedge it in and just, and the kind of whatever mechanism was holding it closed snaps and the thing opens. There's no bubbles that come out, so whenever it was sealed, it was clearly full of water as well. And out from the lockbox, a few things spill out.
I'm luring around because I found this thing.
There is a carved ivory statuette
Ooh.
of King Tidesilver himself, worth 250 gold.
Wow.
Worth knowing what he looks like as well, I guess.
There is a small
Go
eelskin
on then, put it in
pouch.
your inventory.
Oh, sorry.
Small eelskin pouch. Just like a little like coin pouch,
Are you
maybe.
taking all this, Quill?
Inventory space
sure.
upgrade.
And then the last thing appears to be, it is a collection of reports that have been written, not with like obviously with parchment, but it's almost like a waxy substance. So maybe like a very treated, like thick parchment, but it's been treated with some sort of water-resistant material, and it has been painted on with some sort of like water-resistant material. And the reports detail, they appear to have be from like several weeks ago. They detail some raids from the Sahuagin, fending them off. Then the Sahuagin return in more numbers, they fend them off. And as it gets to the point where the captain is thinking of sending out reinforcements, there is a more detailed breakdown, which basically reads, whoever reads this, chances are something bad's happened. The Sahuagin have gotten to the point where they're stronger, they're faster, they're smarter. They've got creatures with them that we've never seen before, sharks with strange armor on that seems resistant to magic and weapons. Something's happening in the depths. I don't know what it is. I'm going to try and get word out as best I can. I think that they might be using the tunnels on the southern end. That seems to be where the greatest number of them are coming from. Our scouts have tried to follow, but I've lost too many in the process. I hope you get this, Your Majesty. Something's going on. We need to figure this out. And that's it. And the message ends.
But we've not seen the captain at all.
No.
He did.
It was in a sealed lockbox. And with that, we're going to end today's episode.
Nice.
Ooh.
Man. And we're
Mystery.
going to take our balloon of fish towards the ravine.
Yep, absolutely. So you will head off to Cold Light Depths. If this were an MMO, Cold Light Depths would come up on the screen.
Well, I mean, it would say Cold Light Depths discovered. We'd get some XP and then we'd level up, right?
We all
Well,
do.
we'll do XP because we've got 10 minutes left. Unless you guys want to start reading donations, I will work out XP.
Figure out, okay.
Oh, do it, Tom.
Okay, well, this is a donation from Cat Griff. Hi, rollers. Thanks for the great entertainment. Finally caught up on the descent and can watch the last one live. Have fun in hell.
That's right, twitch.tv/D&D in quarter of an hour,
Yeah.
a little bit longer.
For another 2 hours of D&D.
Please head over there and say hi, but don't
Be
too-
nice to whoever's on
nice.
for us.
Yes.
Yeah. This is from Mere Kitty. Had a migraine for about 8 hours today, but I'm so glad it decided to leave just in time for this. Even my silly brain knows to fix itself in time for this brilliant show.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Samwise2450. Had to be a VOD goblin tonight and probably for the foreseeable future, but I'll have to donate each week because I'm loving this series. Thank you very much, Samwise. And I'll do one more. Hi, zombies. Just a quick donation on behalf of a fellow Yog Loner dungeon raided because they don't have a card and will probably go mad when you read their name out. We'll catch up on the episode later, so please no one die. Well, dungeon raided, hi.
Hi.
And also thank you for your donation, hi zombies.
Hello.
Thank you to Frank the NPC. Episode prediction. The sloths learn why one should never enter in the blackest depths. He sleeps in the dark, praise Cthulhu. Lucius also learns about tentacles. Oh, those wacky sloths. Good luck with the non-Euclidean geometry. Rockin' and rollin'.
Thank you.
I've finally been able to watch you guys live. I've seen every episode and waited in anticipation to finally watch live. Mark has inspired me to DM for my friends, and I've enjoyed it so very much. You're all my favorite D&D stream. Period.
Thank you very much.
And then thank you to Dan the Birdman. Hey guys, long time fan of the stream, and I just wanted to let you know that I recently got 2 little parrots, and I named one of them Quill.
Yeah.
That's adorable. You guys have got me through a
pretty
lot, and I
happy
love the
about that.
character. I can tweet Tom a photo if he wants. Tweet all of us a photo.
Send pics.
please.
Yeah.
Tag
I want to see my little bird boy.
Just before you go on, Kim. So it's really interesting. Kobold Fight Club and D&D Beyond's Encounter Builder both give me different amounts of XP for the encounter.
Interesting.
I will give you the higher amount because I'm nice. But I've reduced the discovery of the location because you've only discovered 1/2 of this area so far.
Oh yeah, I forget. I was joking about discovery
No,
location.
I always
XP.
give XP for magic item discovery, area discovery.
Level us
and
up.
Number
1,230
Yeah!
XP each.
1,230.
1,230.
Wait,
1,230.
are we?
Oh,
yeah.
7.
Yep.
We dinged.
Oh my god! Oh hey, you know what that means?
Second level wizard for Quill.
I'm leveling up wizard. Oh
We
boy!
need to have
I'm going to take Bard.
What's our current level at? What's
haven't
the,
done
what's
it
the
for a
number?
while.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll do an upgrade. We'll do update.
2, 3, 4,
Well,
50.
Trot will.
2, 3, 4, 50.
Trot, go back to donos.
2, 3, 4.
Over to you, Trot boy.
Nightjar, thank you very
I can
much.
do it while you guys do this. So, Nightjar, Hearts, thank you very much, Nightjar. Surah the Death, thank you very much. Hello, I'm playing D&D. I'm a goblin demolist, a folk hero, and I learn much and how to think and not like overthink stuff. Anyway, I have a problem. Maybe you want to read this first. I wonder if someone can help make a banner. I have put up a request in Reddit. There you go. Surah the Death has got a request on the Reddit.
Nice.
Sure.
Absinthe Kiss, thank you very much. Finally got to see you live. put this towards Smeek's wake.
Oh no!
Thank you very much. I keep forgetting about that boy.
Okay.
Tommy Bolt 420. Only on episode 27, so y'all are on mute, lol. Just want to donate. I love you guys so much. Mark, you're the best DM ever. Thank you very much. Ladies, y'all are a delight. Chris and Tom are a hoot. Thanks for all of the adventures so far. Can't wait to catch up. Thank you, Tommy Bolt.
Do I want to be a hoot or a delight?
Zelda Zorian. Hey, High Rollers. I'm
Hey.
doing much better at uni now. I've made a couple of great friends. Excited to play some more WoW again, as well whenever Viviana is able to. That's my little RP stream I've been doing. Zelda needs to kill some cobble and fund some son's medication. Thank you very much, Zelda. The game of love is a hundo.
Wow, thank you.
Hey, High Rollers, I've been watching since the first episode of the Lightfall campaign. One and off over the years on different accounts. You've inspired me to start playing D&D at my college. I've been looking forward to my first donation, so take my dollar. Thank you very much.
Very much.
Frank the NPC, hey guys, I'm back to say Tom is the ultimate Brookstone. Tom, quit helping the DM of the group. JK, I love it. Keep up the good bants. Task boy.
Thank you.
Nice.
Make
Varys,
me a
thank you very much for your donation and message. Bayfeather donation. Howdy, Tom. How are you doing today?
Great, thanks.
Thanks. Daft Day 41. I'm surprised it took to the break for us to get an under the sea reference. Please don't let our precious bird boy die naked and wet to some fishy nibblers. Thanks very much.
An image.
That's
Ace
how
of
I
Thorns.
want to die.
Insert aquatic pun here. Thank you very much. Metamanu, thank you for the quarter hundo. Silver Lupus, thank you very much. First time I've been able to watch live in a while, so decided to donate. Thanks guys for making my Sunday evening great. Thank you. Small Rossman, just moved from Northern Ireland to England for uni. Any tips for living here? Thanks so much for the endless hours of entertainment. No.
I got no.
Nothing.
I got
But
nothing.
maybe on Twitter. Woody, but blood hungry. Mark, your sound effects for this episode were bloody amazing. Blood intended. Can't go wrong with pet razorfish, right? Not gonna lie, Nova Brookstoning everyone would be the greatest plot twist and also explain her connection with Starbay.
Would be, but she's
Star
so
Bay.
naive
Yeah.
and sweet.
That's the problem. She's so naive.
It would be an
Easily correct.
it would be an unintentional
Yeah.
like.
Unintentional Brookstone.
She-
With that,
Brookstoned herself.
we're going to end because we want to take a bit of a break before Descent. I've got to get some stuff ready. We've got to clear away the underwater map and stuff.
Yes.
So thanks very much, everybody. Thanks for watching us. Don't forget, next we've got D&D Descent right now on twitch.tv.
The last one.
Last episode.
Next week, what Booth Junis. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.